Welcome in. Welcome to All Signs, Their Feelings for You. And we're looking at right now, something is shifting. We're getting ready for the New Year's. And so let's get going. Yes, a special collab this Wednesday with Archer. We're bringing in the New Year's together. So I will make a post about that later. I'm excited about that. I'm sure you guys are too. I will be going live also on TikTok. So I'm going to hit the go live button. And so welcome. Hello, TikTok. I am live on YouTube. So I'm still getting the hang of doing both, right? So I'm focusing mainly on YouTube. If you want to come over and see Aries through Pisces, their feelings for you, you can check me out over there, Frankie's Tarot. All right, guys. So I hope you had an amazing week. Hopefully you have plans for the New Year's, whether it's just staying home and being comfy and just, thinking about what good stuff this New Year is going to bring. Right. So I'm going to go Aries through Pisces. It's going to be hopefully today less than 2 hours. And I do have super chats later. Make sure you're coming in, telling me your sign, who you're here from. Who you're here for, cross-watching. Your energy does matter, all right? You're my audience. So what you're going through, what you're saying in the chat, what your situation is, other people are going through it too. And there are a lot of people behind the scenes not saying anything. So you have the courage to share your stuff. And I'm doing the readings for you guys, right? You're helping the collective with your energy. So make sure you're checking yourself at the door and bringing some good energy, right? Because I got some great mods in there that will pull out the cattle prod, right? Or whatever. What do you say, Angel? And but anyways, let's get ready. Let's get into this. The timestamps will be up after the live. If you come in and you don't know where we're at, the title's on the screen, and plus anybody will probably help you in the chat room. And if I see you, I will have the timestamp. I'll holler it out at you. All right. So we always like to work together. Hopefully I'm not missing anything, but I do want to just get on into it and get going. All right, so let's get the other camera up. I'm going to make my face small. And Aries. We're looking at your person right now. Hello, Vanessa, and April, and Angel, and Lisa, and Flores, and Julia. All right, and TikTok. Hello. We'll be going live on TikTok too. We'll be going live on TikTok together too on Wednesday to bring in the new year as well. TikTok. So we'll be with Archer. All right, Selena. So I'm gonna start Aries at 333 today. All right. So let's meditate on 333. It's a great number. Maybe you guys have been seeing it lately. All right. I do love my synchronicities. All right, Aries. All right, I'm not going to show you the bottom card just yet, all right? But I'm going to look at your person, their story, 6 of Pentacles, all right? And how they're viewing or how they feel about this connection, the Sun card, all right? Any blocks or challenges that they're seeing, the Justice card, and how they feel about you or view you in this situation, the World card. All right, and I'm going to see any intentions towards you this week. The Two of Cups. I love it, right? So we're looking good. And what does Spirit think you should do? What you should know? Ace of Pentacles. So I'm going to leave that here for a second, and we're going to get into the cards. All right. And now your person here is showing up as the 6 of Pentacles, which can be an earthy energy. But I am seeing the Sun card, which sort of trumps that. And that could be a Leo energy, the Sun card. All right. So your person here feels like a friendship. It feels like a really good friendship, or they want to start a friendship with you. They feel like maybe they need to give more to this. Maybe they don't know how to give, what you need, right? But the Sun card is telling me that this person is willing to give it a shot, wants to give it a shot. All right. So now this is somebody that may not know how to give and receive love, right? With that 6 of Pentacles, they may be used to, they have to move slow or go slow and feel things out to make sure that you're on the same page. But they really, it looks like somebody could be falling in love with you, Aries, because the 6 of Pentacles is somebody that may have shied back a little bit, may have pushed back from you a little bit. but realizing that they feel something with you with that Sun card. There's something about your energy that makes this person feel better when they're around you. All right. So that's usually the first sign somebody's missing you, or they know that the connection is a little bit deeper than maybe they're willing to let on right now. Right. So what is their block though? And this is where the Justice card is coming in, and I'm seeing, all right, what's their block? They're afraid to be authentic. They're afraid to be real. Are they afraid of commitment, right? You know, with this Justice card, I have Libra energy. And, you know, it's like, this is, if they owe you an apology of some sort, all right, this Justice card says, how do I make it right? How do I do this? How do I be real with this person and let down my guards? But it does seem like they feel like they owe you something, or at least to be honest with you about something. All right. And that's what's blocking them. And this person also could have been really betrayed in the past. And with them being the Six of Pentacles too, as well, this person may just not know, like I said, how to give really to a relationship. You know, they may have been burned in the past with this being a block, you know, the Justice card. Now, also for some of you, the block could be, and don't tell me that you're, you know, this couldn't be, but somebody's in a relationship, right? And that's why they haven't been given, they've been keeping it kind of a friendly energy with you. You know, they might not be in a healthy relationship with the block being the Justice card, but it's still a block, all right? Now, the way they view you and how they feel about you, I have the World card. And this is somebody that feels very comfortable around you, feels like you have a lot going on for yourself. You know where you're going, you know what you want to do, you're ready for the next chapter. All right. So this is somebody that also knows that you need somebody to be in your life, that you're looking for somebody to be in your life. All right. You're wanting something more than just fair, you know, weather friends, or, you know, you're wanting people who are consistent with you, people that are putting in, and, you know, you're feeling like, I'm putting in something and I'm getting something back. So you're looking for a successful relationship with everybody in your life, right? But obviously a romance, right? And, you know, this person is holding back from you also because they know this about you. You may be very accomplished, and this person may feel like, you know, they can't meet your needs. You know, that is a big one nowadays. All right. A lot of you will say that I don't need anybody to meet my needs, but there's still people out there that feel inadequate. If you might say that at the beginning, but when we get into a relationship somewhere down the line, it may, once you're settled in, bother you that somebody can't meet your needs. All right. Now, their intentions towards you, though, and this is where, you know, it just, they can't resist you. They can't help it. The Sun card is here. You know, the Sun card is saying, you know, I'm attracted to you. The Sun card says my heart feels this, right? There's something about your aura, your presence that that makes me very attracted to you. This is very Leo energy, a very fun energy. So you have a very positive attitude about things that this person admires, right? They really like that about you. So I see this person's intention. They really want to open up to you. The Two of Cups is, you know, I'm on the same page as you. I really see you and I really want to have a conversation. So you may find yourself, Aries, having a conversation. Now, again, I'm rooting for my Aries right now because I am telling you what, I just feel like all the readings I've been doing for you lately, even your personal and even the Aries in my life, you guys are starting something new. So it's going to be this, you know, patience this year as it unfolds. All right. Things aren't going to happen overnight, but things are really starting to happen for you. And I'm manifesting it for you in my readings as well. But I do see somebody here who wants to get closer to you, wants to keep this connection closer, wants to keep you in their energy, with hopes and thoughts that this may go somewhere. Maybe they are going through a divorce and they just can't figure out, you know, how to make you happy during this time, right? I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to, you know, I can't be 100%. This can't be fair right now because I can't give my all to you, right? But I want to. I really do feel this connection with you. So you may get a heartfelt connection, conversation this week. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is what Spirit wants you to know. And this feels like, you know, Spirit saying to you, you know that there's an opportunity here and you're walking through this doorway. And this feels like a very grounded situation. But the Ace of Pentacles is also asking you to keep your options open too, as well. And don't hang on so tightly. This feels like somebody needs to see you moving forward and doing your thing, and this person here is going to follow your lead. The Ace of Pentacles is telling me you are starting a new beginning here, and there is a lot of potential here for this relationship to go somewhere. But it really does require you to steer the wheel and to not be afraid to move forward. So this person does see your seriousness about the connection, because otherwise you'll just keep yourself stuck and not walk through that door and not move forward, waiting for this person to make their move. And I do feel like you have to be the one to continue moving forward, and this person will open up to you. But you always follow your intuition. Let's take a look at Aries through Pisces and see what each zodiac comes up for you. Now, Aries, I have the Eight of Swords here for you. So this does tell me that you've been sweating something a little bit, like you've been very doubtful about a situation. And this is where the Eight of Swords is. Like there's nothing else you can do or say. You're just going to go around in circles and loop and drive yourself nuts with this energy. Obviously, another Aries is feeling the same way. You know, you both may be projected onto one another. You know, you both feel kind of stuck. It's like, you know, I've been through a lot. I just want to go forward. I want to move forward with my person. It looks like you, the Ace of Pentacles, you're ready for a fresh start. Come on already. But it's like, I just feel breathe. It's coming in for you. And you and another Aries here, you both feel the same way. And it may be taking a step back so that you guys can have this conversation and see where all this noise is coming from. Your Aries may have somebody else in their ear that's causing a lot of stress, and they're bringing it into the relationship with you. Now, Taurus, I see the Queen of Swords. So Taurus really feels you, all right? Taurus is like, I see you, all right? You're very attracted to a Taurus, all right? And they also know you're right, whatever that means for some of you, all right? I see them wanting to open up communication with you, but they know they need to be honest with you. You may intimidate them because you can see right through them, all right? And you call them out. And this also could stress them out as well, too, you know, because you just are right. And, you know, give me a break. Give me a second here, Aries. All right. Let me calculate, you know, my next move. Right. But I do see communication coming in with a Taurus. Gemini, Six of Wands, right? So Gemini is not going to hold back much longer. It feels, it looks as though, you know, I'm very attracted to you. I know you're attracted to me. And somehow, you know, let's just kind of let this one go and get together and see where it goes. I see a positive attitude coming your way with a Gemini and really wanting your attention. They feel you, and you guys could actually really turn into something good here with that energy. You guys could be very good for each other. Cancer, Queen of Cups. Cancer's in their feelings, Aries, and they're all over it, right? They already are in love with you. They feel you. Now, Cancer tends to hold back a little bit when you poke in too much or you get into their feelings, Aries. You call shit as it is. You know, your Cancer is going to feel attacked at times or feel like you can see too much, right? And too much too soon, you know? And so they may not know how to address their feelings about you yet, but I can see that they do have love for you. Now, the other thing is, for those of you in a complicated situation, I am seeing another feminine energy there. And that's just it. If there's somebody else, this is going to be a complicated situation. It doesn't stop the fact that they don't feel you or care about you. Leo, I see the Queen of Pentacles. So again, Leo could be, you know, stuck in a commitment with somebody that they feel very, you know, they have to care for, they have to take care of, or codependent energy, right? Or it's just a partner that they're very dedicated to, serious, but maybe it's just all about responsibilities and it lost its passion. And you know, but I see a Leo here that sees you, right? Really cares about you as well too, and may have stepped back a little bit just to see how all this is going to play out. How can we make this work? All right, you do have a responsible Leo taking the next step or stepping up to the plate. Virgo, Page of Wands. So Virgo just wants to have a little fun, all right? Take it as it is. The Page of Wands says, you know, I'm into you. You know, I care about you. Look at this, Aries, right? There's something about you. You're spunky. But it is infatuation, all right? You both may be infatuated with each other. And I'm seeing messages coming in and flirting coming in with a Virgo. Libra, I'm seeing Seven of Wands, right? So Libra feels like they've got to, you know, one, guard themselves a little bit, taking one step at a time. And two, it looks like they want to defend themselves with you. It's like, you know, I know we got some challenges going on here. All right, there's something, but I'm slowly letting down my guards and I don't want to give up on this situation. Scorpio, I see the Hermit card. So Scorpio being a little bit quiet on you right now, all right? But the light's still on. They may have gone ghost on you. They may have been quiet. You know, they just need time to themselves. And when Scorpio does this, you know, they're going to hide and they're not going to come out until they're ready. I wouldn't chase this one, especially if somebody's in hermit mode. All right. They hear you. They heard you. The light's on. They're figuring out which path they want to take. All right. There may be some distance, a lot of distance between you guys right now, but, you know, that doesn't mean it's forever. Sagittarius, the 10 of Wands, all right? So Sag is carrying a lot more internal than you realize. All right? Sag may be feeling like they're carrying a lot and they just, nobody sees how much they're carrying or what's going on with them. So they may feel misunderstood. It does look like you've got to take a step back and see your Sag maybe differently, you know, and so this is going to be, they don't have time or they're worn out. Any little thing that happens between the two of you, they're going to fall apart or they're going to push back, right? Because they look really tired and worn out inside. Capricorn, I see the Emperor card. So Capricorn stepping up, looking good. All right. They mean business. It looks like, you know what? I'm going to be responsible. So whatever that means in your relationship with the Capricorn, they are trying to be responsible. They know what they need to do. All right. And so this does look as though making peace with the Capricorn, some of you could be building a future, making plans for the future with the Capricorn. Aquarius, I see a 9 of Pentacles, right? So Aquarius, I'm going to tell you right now, they don't need somebody up their ass 24/7, all right? But they need to feel secure, all right? They need their friend, they need their freedom, they need their independence, and you may misread their freedom and their independence as being avoidant. And it can come across like that if somebody is being too needy with this 9 of Pentacles. So they may tend to be aloof and avoidant, but it doesn't mean they're not invested. I think a different approach with your Aquarius, and you may see that you guys will grow closer together. They just like their independency. Pisces, 9 of Swords. So for some of you, Pisces is feeling very regretful about something that's gone down between the two of you. All right. They may come in asking for, you know, forgiveness. Maybe they're going to confess. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you hurt them and they're still stressing out about it. But I do see that conversation. Remember, the intention is to have some sort of conversation about the connection. I love you guys. All right, Aries. So that's how it's going down today, you guys. Let's see, TikTok. Remember, I'm doing Aries through Pisces TikTok. If you want to come over, if you miss your sign, I just finished Aries and I'll be moving on to Taurus. At any time, you can come over to Frankie's Tarot and you will see that I am on live. All right, Taurus. Let's see, Taurus. I always get these same numbers for Taurus, and everybody asks me, how do you do that with the synchronicities? It's because I'm a Virgo rising Scorpio, and I'm very efficient, and my tempo goes at the same every week, and certain numbers just show up for each and every one of you. 1818 today for Taurus. All right, channel your Taurus energies. We all got a little bit of it. You got a Taurus in your life, you know, you're blessed, right? Taurus are awesome. If you snagged one finally, make sure it's what you want because they ain't going to go anywhere, all right? You fight for that Taurus, you make them make a move. They're in it, all right? So, all right, they're not going to move. You're not going to be able to kick them out too quick. All right, I love you guys. Let's see. Taurus, my Taurus. Let's see your person's story and what's their deal, how they see this connection. All right, your Taurus is, look at you. All right, overall energy. So this is a good start. Your person respects you. Your person sees you. You're showing up as the overall energy. And this is you, you know, focus on the future here, Taurus, not so much on every little thing that happens on a daily basis, all right? You may find yourself getting fixed on every little detail, and then you get stuck on it and you hold little grudges, right? I know you guys, right? But you got to kind of take a look at the bigger picture and take a step back, because it does look as though you and another person are building something for the future. And there's growth happening here is what I'm seeing. All right, but you may not be seeing it. All right, the Hanged Man, you may be kind of questioning your future, questioning where things going. You know, I just don't know. I feel stuck. Maybe you are shutting down a little bit and you don't know what the next step is. So let's take a look at your person. I was gonna say Aries. Maybe you guys are. You guys often deal with a lot of Aries, or you have a lot of Aries placements. I'm seeing your person here, a Libra energy, the Justice card. You're somebody, you're dealing with somebody who does like things fair, who, you know, it's hard to get this person to not see the truth, not see things. They want fairness, all right? But they also may feel like there's been some sort of injustice as well. So how do they view you, the situation? I see the Queen of Cups. They may see you or the connection as you're very sensitive, right? They might be feeling like you're very sensitive and you're holding back your feelings, and they want the truth about how you feel, you know, deep down. You are showing up as the King of Pentacles in your element, right? So sometimes I find my Tauruses have a hard time expressing how they're really feeling deep down inside, and your person may be questioning this, all right? I also am seeing maybe for some of you, there could be a water sign in your life. And if you're dealing with a person who's dealing with another person, all right, there is a person showing up here. That's a complicated situation, all right? So this isn't about that other person. This is about how they feel about you, all right? So I'm just going to cross that out right now. All right, so I am seeing somebody here feels a connection with you. With this Cancer energy, you definitely bring some sort of comfort to this person. You know, you open them up. They're becoming a little bit more vulnerable around you. What is their block, though? I see the Two of Swords, right? They can't seem to, make up their mind. All right, that's the bottom line. All right, this person doesn't know what to do. Sometimes their mind's telling them one thing, but their heart keeps coming back to you. You know, this card can be a very difficult card. It can be like, why does this keep coming up? Why do I keep trying to cut it off with Taurus? Why do I keep, talking myself out of this connection with Taurus? But yet there's something about this connection. You know what it is there's a stronger bond growing underneath. There's that Queen of Cups. There's a feeling you give this person, Taurus, that is unexplainable. It's a comfort, it's a home, it's a nurturing, and maybe you feel this person, or this person is can rest around you or relax around you enough so that they've never experienced this before, but they're so used to analyzing situations and trying to figure things out that maybe they're confusing themselves. And I feel like you guys don't always see eye to eye. Now, your person may feel like you're not being honest with them, and your person may feel like things are not fair between the two of you. And I'm also seeing that you may be feeling the same way. So there's a problem here. If you both, we got to find some sort of compromise. If you both feel like you're not being heard, or, you're never going to get anywhere, basically. So your person's block is they're kind of indecisive, and this can be wishy-washy and flighty, and it may confuse you, Taurus, and you may be thinking this person doesn't care about you. But let's go back to the Queen of Cups. This person may internalize their feelings and may have a hard time expressing their feelings to you. But this is somebody who knows that deep inside or deep down that you guys have some sort of connection, and they do feel for you. They just may not know how to express it. All right. They think too much. This person gets in their head too much. How do they view you and their intentions? The Three of Swords. All right. They may feel like they really hurt you. The Three of Swords. They may feel like you're still hurting or trying to recover from another situation. They may see you as sad. And I get that your person here, the block, the Two of Swords, I don't think this person means to hurt you. I don't think they mean to break your heart, but I feel like they think you're really sensitive too as well. When they're honest with you or they say things that are truthful, it may hurt your feelings, and they just may feel like you're insensitive. You're sensitive, and you guys are more sensitive than people realize. All right, so this person needs to, I think their block is they speak too soon. All right, and sometimes they let their mouth, their head, their thoughts get in the way of their heart. Okay, and this hurts you, and I don't think this person likes to hurt you. All right, so what are their intentions with this connection? The Nine of Wands, though. All right, so your person is getting a little bit worn out and stressed out about the connection, though. They just feels like they can't figure you out or figure out how to make it work. All right, we do have the Nine of Wands, which is, I don't want to give up on this, man. I'll give it my all. So somebody may have tried to give it their all with you. and just seems like you guys kept going down the same road, right? The Nine of Wands is a very worn out energy. It's like, I feel like you guys are climbing uphill constantly, and you're not seeing you're not seeing that you guys are carrying too much or creating a lot of tension when it's unnecessary. All right. I just think you guys are misunderstanding each other, right? Your person, though, may feel, really worn out and not sure how to make it work. All right. And that's where the block is, the Two of Swords. So you may be feeling hurt. You may be feeling like, this is over, or somebody wants to break up with you. Maybe you're in separation with somebody, but your person hasn't left you. Your person's not leaving you. Their block is the Two of Swords. They can't leave you. They don't know what to do. They may think it's right. They may feel like you guys can't fix something. You guys stress each other out, or it's too hard, but they can't move on. All right. So what is their intentions, potential, any actions this week? The Hermit card. All right. So you may be feeling like this person is distant from you. What does Spirit want you to do? The Nine of Swords. Stop stressing about it. Let it go. The Nine of Swords tells me that this is something that may have happened in the past. A lot of these things continue to happen. The Nine of Wands, the Nine of Swords. This means that you're repeating a pattern with this person, and you're trying to resolve it the same way. And the reason why it keeps showing up is because it's like Spirit saying, look at what is repeating. This is unnecessary. You don't need to be stressing out about this so much, right? It's like release and stop ruminating over a situation. It's almost like you're trying to, rewire the, Spirit's asking you to rewire your brain and not panic because somebody goes quiet. It seems like somebody's really trying to figure out, I still want to make this work, but I don't know what to do. So your person shuts down. Your person shuts down and goes within. But what I can see about your person is they're wise and they're spiritual, and they're going to do what's right, and the light's still on. So you're being asked to not worry about how long this takes. Just let your person process their feelings, and they will come out of hiding. So let's look at Aries through Pisces and see each zodiac sign and see if they will take any action or anything else Spirit has for you. Aries, the Ten of Pentacles, right? So Aries wants a future. Aries is working towards a future, right? They're invested in this connection, and they may have seen a future with you. All right. So the Ten of Pentacles talks about lots of problems that come up with people who are trying to mesh their lives together. And you guys may be coming from two different backgrounds or two different situations, and it's going to take a minute for you guys to adjust. I see an Aries who's serious about you and still thinking about a future with you. Now, Taurus, I see King of Swords. Taurus, all right, you're coming across as the King of Swords. So you may be, emotionally detaching. You may be coming across as emotionally detached. You may be, thinking you're right about something. Sometimes the King of Swords thinks they're right. Well, not sometimes, all the time. The King of Swords thinks they're right, but they don't. And they can't see, the shadow of it is they can't see the other person's perspective, all right? Or they don't want to face truth, right? The truth is hard, all right? But this is the King of Swords. So you and another Taurus could be both detached from one another, both being emotionally distant and not wanting to express, really you're at a standstill. It's going to take one of you backing down and saying, you know what, let's call it a truce, is what I'm seeing. So you may get conversation, communication with your Taurus this week. And it looks as though we're trying to be honest with one another. All right, Gemini, Three of Wands. Gemini thinking about the future with you. So you have Gemini pondering their next move. All right, so it's still moving forward with a Gemini. Cancer, Eight of Wands. So honest communication. Cancer wants honest communication. They don't want to fight about things. They don't want to keep going back and forth. It seems to escalate between you and a Cancer. All right. Whenever we're honest, you may get triggered. Remember, we're going back to where you may feel betrayed, or your person may feel like some injustice has been said, right? So this card here with the Cancer can say there's arguing going back and forth, right? We need to be able to have an honest conversation and let each other talk without getting pissed off and losing our shit. So I do see another moment here this week where you may have a chance to communicate with your Cancer. Same thing with a Leo. We have the Ace of Swords. Leo wants clarity too. Leo wants to see where things go. They think about you. They like talking to you, or they really feel like you guys need to clear something up. Virgo, I see Two of Wands. Virgo's still holding on a little bit to a broken past. All right. They know they need to let go. They're being pulled towards you. All right. They really want to see where things go. But this is somebody that has one foot in, one foot out, and they constantly wave back and forth. Right. But the thing is it looks as though they really are feeling pulled towards reaching out to you and making it happen. Your deal is you're going to have to deal with the uncomfortable energy of waiting for somebody. That's why we don't wait, right? We go shopping, or we go do something. We go hang out with our friends. Libra, the death card. All right. So something's changing. Something may be ending with a Libra. All right. It is what it is. The death card is here. Something has to change, right? The death card says it doesn't have to, whatever the situation is, it is ending. All right. That's the death card. All right. But that's because the situation was going nowhere. And if we can let go of that situation and accept the way it is and the story that was there, there's a chance for renewal when you get the death card. But it's going to be a different scenario, different day. It feels like Libra does not want to keep going back to the way things were before. All right. Now, Scorpio, I see the Six of Swords, right? So we have a Scorpio trying to move past things. All right, there's a problem with this one, though. Scorpio will tend to try and skirt past, the Five of Swords, right? I don't want to argue about this. I don't want to do this. Let's just go. Let's just move forward. But you're missing the point. And so a Scorpio may come back in, want to talk to you, want to move forward. They want to clear something up because they still see a future with you. They see the possibilities, and they do want to go somewhere. They're avoiding, though, the problem. And it seems like you guys are coming up against something that needs to be resolved. The good news is you guys can resolve this. The Six of Swords is saying this will pass, and you guys are still moving forward. All right, Sagittarius. I see the Empress card. So Sagittarius is in love with you. All right. How can how can they not? You're showing up as the Empress. You're beautiful. You have a lot to give. Your worth. And Sagittarius is seeing this. So whatever you're doing with a Sag, this is what I'm gonna say. Just keep on doing it. You're planting seeds. You're watering it. Things take time to grow. Maybe you'll see some growth this week and some things manifesting that you didn't expect, right? But I am seeing growth here with a Sagittarius. Capricorn, Three of Pentacles. You and Capricorn will do something to make it work. You both are into each other. You both care about each other, or you like each other, right? And you see qualities in one another that are like, we can make this work. We can go far. So it looks like your Capricorn is willing to put the work in this week. And I have Aquarius. I see the Devil card. All right. So Aquarius is showing up as the little devil. All right. They're your devil. You guys, they're your karma. So whatever's going on with you and your Aquarius, it's going to keep showing up. You keep calling them in. It's going to keep showing up. They want you. They're sexually attracted to you. There's devilish energy, though, right? Which means you know what that is. All right. Your Aquarius could be not wanting to deal with their shadow self, right? Aquarius is going to be going through a lot of energy. We're going into their season soon. And there's a strong attachment. There's a chance here to figure out what this trigger is, what's going on. And if there's any cheating or anything like that involved, that's what's showing up. So you'll see that they're still showing up. They still have their eye on you. But it's not the best energy. We'll leave it at that. Pisces, Five of Swords. I'm seeing, Pisces doesn't feel good about something that was said. You may get a reconcile because they're not feeling like they won. And they're also feeling confused too of how to fix things or what to say. There may be other people involved, other situations involved. But a little bit of space, I feel like stepping back here with a Pisces, they feel it. They know. They're still thinking about what was said or done. All right. Thank you. That was Taurus and TikTok. Hello. I'm just getting used to how to go live. I'm on YouTube doing Aries through Pisces, their feelings for you. And if you want to come on over here, catch your sign. I'm going on to Gemini next. And I will get better with being able to work with TikTok. You will find that I will come on here more often in the future when I get used to it. You're welcome, everybody. We are moving on to Gemini. Gemini. And let's see. All right. Gemini, what is going on? Let's see the story with your person. I burned myself at Christmas time with the grill, and I have a Band-Aid on it. It wants to come off and driving me crazy. And you do not want to see the burn. It was really bad. All right. These cards. I might have to put these cards to rest for a second and do another deck. Let's see. All right, Gemini. Gemini. Let's see your person's story, how they feel about this connection, view this connection. Let's see. Hello, we are on Gemini. For those of you coming in on TikTok, I am on YouTube. All right, let's see. Gemini. Show me Gemini's person. What's their story? All right, you get the star card, so we'll come back. But remember the star card, overall energy. All right, you got some light shining here. Somebody still sees you, Gemini. All right. So your person's story, we got Scorpio energy showing up, right? Your person, what are they grieving? Are they dealing with something that's ended in their life? All right. They're going through a lot of change. How do they feel or view this situation? And the Eight of Swords, all right? Something's really, there's some trust issues here, all right, with Gemini. And somebody here is feeling, did I make the right choice? What's going on? Is something over? Your person may be freaking out because they think it's over with you, and not sure if they really want it to be over. All right, so let's see what their block is, what their deal is. The Seven of Wands. All right, your person's got their guards up. All right, how do they view you, feel about you? The King of Pentacles. Right, Gemini's like, you ain't fucking around me. All right, excuse my language. I don't know, for some reason, the last couple days, these little bombs have been coming out of my mouth, and I've been really busy, so I don't know if that's the reason, but I apologize for anybody's ears that don't want to hear it. I do see a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I see a Scorpio energy. They view you as somebody with high standards. They view you as somebody who's busy. They view you as somebody also that, takes your time. And you may have a lot going on, Gemini. Good for you, right? You contemplate your future. You want to make the right moves, right? You don't want to invite people into your life that are not going to benefit you in the future. And there's nothing wrong with that. It might sound, shitty, but it's true, right? You get to a certain age and it's like, all right, we got to have quality relationships here. But your person is definitely viewing you as somebody that's got it together, and they value you. All right, they definitely do. How are they feeling and any intentions? I see the Chariot card. All right, so they're feeling very pulled to you. Might not really know exactly which direction yet, but they are seeing things moving forward. All right, maybe they're wanting you to move forward. So let's see their intentions or actions. I see the Four of Swords. All right. So somebody may be sleeping on this and kind of holding back on you, and kind of trying to let things sleep itself off, or let this situation kind of roll over, right? So they may be trying to wait for a better moment to talk to you. I am seeing the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Somebody may have left a situation with you kind of unstable, unsteady. Maybe somebody left you feeling very doubtful and very guarded. They may have said something they wish they didn't. All right. They may have said something being mad. Now, you're showing up as the King of Pentacles, which means you can have a very stubborn attitude. This means, you said something to me, and so you got your foot in the ground. It's a Taurus energy. It means I'm not budging on my stance, all right? And I can see that, the guards are up. Maybe somebody doesn't like when you call them out. Maybe somebody, just feels, and maybe, they just have a hard time letting down their guards. We're going to go with that one. Their block is the Seven of Wands. This person loses their shit easy. All right. They have a lot going on. So that is why I'm seeing your person here may get up in their head a lot, and with a lot of pressure going on in their life, they may end up saying things and ending things too soon when they don't mean it. This reminds me of me. All right. This reminds me of my unhealthy me, where if you confront me with something I do not like, I leave. All right. I'm ending it. All right. And that's the kind of person. Your person is having a hard time dealing with reality of the situation. And you're showing up, the King of Pentacles, saying, hey, You know, this is how it is. You call the shots, you say your truth, right? And but your person, you know, doesn't like it. They push back, and they get very defensive. It's because they deal with a lot of insecurities and fears within them. All right, the Eight of Swords, they may have dealt with a lot of unhealthy people in their life, and they're not used to dealing with somebody like you that calls it as it is. All right. The good news is, you know, your person is hoping that things move forward. They're hoping with a little bit of rest or space, you'll let this slide or you'll forgive them. There is this, you've got them thinking, the more space, if you're giving them the silent treatment or you've decided to go no contact or pull your energy back from this person, you got them thinking, you really got them thinking, and they're hoping that you guys can resolve things in the future. But I see them still trying to hold space, stay back, and kind of sleep through this one. Spirit is pulling them towards you because there's something here that you guys got and you both know it. All right, so Cancer energy is showing up. What does Spirit want you to do or know about this situation? I've got the Queen of Swords with you, so as uncomfortable as it may seem, do not tend to this person's emotional needs, you know, because you can see what's going on with them. This is something, this person's going to keep doing this to you unless you lay down the law and you keep your boundaries up strong. All right. This person needs to think about how they reacted, how they said things, and what they really want. Now, this could be, you could flip this, cross watchers, okay? But you're showing up, Gemini, as the Queen of Swords, which is, you know, as hard as it can be, detaching from your emotions, you know what's going on and see the bigger picture. This person needs to show up, and you need to see through the bullshit too as well. All right, as uncomfortable as it is, you can't always be the one that's fixing things, being a mother to somebody else. A queen always tends to want to be the mother, whether you're a male or female, to another person. Like, they're not an adult. They can't figure out how to deal with their feelings and be mature. All right, you want them to show up for you. All right, look at a little bit of Mama Frankie just came through there. All right, so if you're connected with an Aries, I see Four of Wands. Aries feels very happy with you and wants to come back around. All right, so I do see a moment here, you and Aries sharing. You guys may finally get to that commitment you're looking for with an Aries. Them coming back home for some of you. I have Taurus, you have the Ten of Swords, right? So Taurus is freaking out, maybe even thinking that they've ruined things. This is somebody that sabotages, right? Or they've been hurt a lot. They've been hurt a lot, and so they tend to do this to the people that come into their life. And that's where the Queen of Swords for you. You may see this, but it's not your job to fix somebody. All right, Taurus here is scared because they feel like they're losing you. Gemini, you have the Two of Swords. You have a very difficult decision to make. All right, no more enabling and coddling people. All right, you have a difficult choice and you know what to do. All right, the Two of Swords says somebody's got to make their own decision here, and you may be afraid that you're going to lose a situation or you're going to lose somebody. And that's where the Queen of Swords says it's uncomfortable to lose somebody. But if this is going to improve the relationship and get somebody to really think about how they're treating you, that's what needs to be done. Because otherwise you're going to stunt their growth. They're not going to show up for you the way you want them to. So although your heart's really invested, this one here may be telling me you might have to listen to your mind this time, all right, and try to do what's right for you. Your person is showing up as somebody that is not ready to leave this situation just yet. All right, Cancer, Four of Pentacles. Cancer has a hard time opening up and letting go of their viewpoint, letting go of control, letting go of the situation. And they don't like, I just had a conversation, hello, Anne, with Anne. You know, it's an energy of you, they don't want you to see so closely into them. They're so sensitive inside. They want you to see the outside exterior, how tough they are, not how mushy they are. Right. So you may be trying to put, you know, you're a Gemini. You may be calling them out. Yes, you're right. Right. You got the answers. You know what's going on. Right. But they may be slow to open up, and it's got to be on their terms. Right. They're still attached. They're still attracted to you, connected to you. I don't like the word attached. Sorry, I use that. I do feel like you guys are still building something there. Leo, the Hanged Man. They're just kind of keeping things stuck. You guys, it seems like you and a Leo, they're still contemplating, trying to figure out where this is going. So you're in an in-between stage with a Leo, and it can be very uncomfortable. And this is telling me that really you just got to keep the peace right now. Let them figure out their own way. Any more pushing at this, you may push the silence more. Virgo, I see Page of Wands. So Virgo is into you. Virgo's kind of infatuated with you, right? Virgo's attracted to you. They got their eye on you and very curious about what you're up to. So if anything, I like this card because it says they're going to reach out and flirt with you, all right? So Libra, I see the Knight of Swords, right? So Libra taking a quick U-turn. All right, I got something to say. All right, so this can be coming in kind of fast and quick and making quick decisions. A Libra here deciding what they want to do with something or do with this situation. So for a lot of you, it's somebody coming in to turn something around and say, hey, you know, all right, I see where we can go with this now. Let's take this and move. You know, and for some of you, though, it can be an argument coming your way, but one that may resolve an issue that helps you guys figure out where a relationship is going. Scorpio, the Lovers card. Scorpio loves you, Gemini. I love you, Gemini. I'm a stellium Scorpio third house. I love you. My daddy's a Gemini. I don't know why that makes me feel cool to say that. I was a Gemini in a Gemini South Node. So I was a Gemini in my last life. All right. I love you. All right. Your Gemini loves you too. All right. You have the Lovers card. All right. So it tells me you and your Gemini, you have a way of triggering each other, but you also have a way of letting each other in and you guys know each other. So there could be some communication coming in or a love affair continuing or starting with a Scorpio, not another Gemini, a Scorpio. Sagittarius, I see the Six of Cups. All right. So Sagittarius, I see a reconciliation here for some of you. All right, we like that. I also see love with a Sagittarius. I also see that sometimes you guys may push each other and you may revert back to old ways of dealing with things, right? It can be, you know, sometimes getting triggered and we act, you know, the way we would have acted 10 years ago, right? But you guys trigger each other, you're soulmates, right? You're meant to help each other grow and change. So I do see a reunion coming in or a moment, you know, somebody missing you, somebody wanting to get together with you. Capricorn, I see Capricorn showing up as themselves. All right. For those of you Capricorn cross watchers, look at you showing up as the devil for Gemini. All right. You're obsessing, right, Capricorn? What's going on? You got to let go of that grip a little bit. They got a hold of you. All right, Gemini, you got a hold of a Capricorn. You got a hold of a Capricorn. All right, so they're stressing. There's something still there. It's not the healthiest energy, but it's one there's a chance to, Gemini, you're triggering a Capricorn to face some of their shadows, right? And you're an important person in this person's life to be able to sometimes do that. They're facing some of the things they need to face. All right. So there could be an ongoing situation with you and a Capricorn. This doesn't mean it's resolved, but it does show that there's some challenges coming in. Aquarius, same thing, Nine of Swords. Aquarius really thinking about something that was said between the two of you. They may have spoke too soon. They may regret something they said or did or a choice they made. You know, you could get a confession coming in, you know, or not. Sometimes people get to this point and they don't know how to confess, you know, that it's really weighing on them. So I'm just going to let you know that your Aquarius is definitely in their head ruminating about something that happened between the two of you. Pisces, I see the Knight of Wands. Pisces is like, hello. All right, we definitely have chemistry. You know we have chemistry. It's lust right now. There's room for it to grow, all right? You see them coming back in or you see them coming towards you very passionately. You know, where it's going, who knows? You know, you got somebody that likes their freedom, but also sometimes they come in quick and they leave quick, but it's fun, right? That's what I got. All right. Thank you, guys. How you guys feeling? Is the readings, how the readings resonating today? You liking them? I am on TikTok too, still practicing here TikTok. I see you guys coming in. I love it. It's actually, there's a lot going on. You guys keep me on my toes. I am moving on to Cancer TikTok. So if you want to see Aries through Gemini, you can just go to my YouTube. But right now I am moving on to Cancer, and I'm just keeping it rolling, guys. Let's see. All right, rolling on. Cancer. Cancer time. Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. Let's see your person's story. Let's see your person's story and how they see this connection or how they feel about this connection for my Cancers. All right, Cancer. Let this Justice card, YouTube, TikTok, this has been coming in a lot today. All right, I'm using a second deck, so this isn't even the same deck as the first that I was getting the Justice in. So we are seeing, right? You got this this energy of, we got to figure out how to make this right. We got to figure out how to make this work. Being an overall energy, this means whoever did the unjust is going to pay the karma. It's time to pay the piper. All right, so it can be either one at this point. I like to always give the zodiac that I'm reading for the benefit of the doubt, but we know we're not all angels. I do see some karma being served though. So things, contract being fulfilled. Right? It's time to move on from something. It's time to find closure, make some sort of peace. I have a Libra here energy. Somebody definitely is learning. So if you know you are, you know you are. I don't have to reel it. I don't have to drill it in. But I know some of you want to hear this. And even me, I try to be as spiritual as I can because I don't want any karma coming back to me. I never like to say I wish somebody would get their karma. All right. Because I've had so much karma that I don't want anymore. But there's that little person inside me that wants to know that somebody got served, right? And it feels like, obviously nobody wins in these situations, but it does seem like there's a closure coming in. So obviously somebody's feeling their karma. All right. And I see the Empress underneath that. So maybe you taught somebody some very valuable lessons, right? Or they taught you. You're all now starting to see where there's some growth. We're able to move forward now. All right. So there's a love and energy coming in here too with that. So let's see your person's story and how they see the connection. Look at this karma. Karma. It is what it is. It's one of the laws of the universe. What you put out, you get back. All right. You've been trying to do your due diligence, that due diligence. You've been doing good deeds. You got good deeds coming back, right? And I know sometimes good people have shit happen to them too, right? Let's not go down to that conversation. But for the most part, the karma wheel, it does come back around. So what comes around goes around. And I'm seeing karma here, Wheel of Fortune. And let's see how they're viewing it now, though, the situation, the 8 of Cups, right? All right, let's see their block. Let's see their block, the 8 of Pentacles. Ooh, let's see. Somebody trying to avoid their feelings. Let's see how they view you. Ooh, Queen of Wands. All right, look at me. I'm fueling the fire. All right, how do they really feel, and what are their intentions towards you? All right, the Hierophant. They learned their lesson. So if anything, not to repeat myself, there has been a lesson learned. A lesson learned. You have a Taurus energy here. You have Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio. You have the Wheel of Fortune. You also have fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sag. All right, you have Libra. But you see, you have a lot of major arcana, and it just feels like, here you are. Cancer over here looking good. Cancer looking good. And somebody thought they could, that they could win this one or hide it, but the thing is your person is still trying to avoid it. So I do see that you are dealing with an avoidant. Somebody who realizes, but now they have to move on. There's no going back. Once you know, you know. And now this person may be kicking themselves in the ass because what's Cancer doing? Cancer's looking good. All right, Cancer, I don't know, you put yourself together, maybe you've moved on, maybe you're just looking good and somebody took a wrong turn and they found out that the end of the road sucked at that turn they took. It was a dead end. All right, so I do see somebody is feeling something you said or did. You taught them something, you taught them well. Now their block is the Eight of Pentacles. And that's why I'm saying an avoidant energy too. You have the Eight of Pentacles and you have the Eight of Cups. They're trying to move on from it. But guess what? They can't, because the Wheel of Fortune is here. You gotta face your truth. You gotta face that, that judgment. When the judgment comes in, all right. Once you know the truth about a situation, it's gonna weigh on your conscience. That Hierophant. What happens next? Hopefully your person decides to bring some sort of peace or reconciliation your way. Let's see any intentions. I see that they're fighting it. The Five of Wands. They're fighting it, guys. All right. They're really trying, they got a lot of conflict going inside. A lot of conflict. This is somebody that does not like to lose. This is somebody that, doesn't like to face their emotions either. So when you're dealing with an avoidant, they get uncomfortable feelings. They don't know what to do. They get angry. They don't know why. They get frustrated. They don't know why. And then they try to move on and they can't and they don't know why. It's because part of their journey with all the spiritual energy coming through is they got to take a look at what they did, what part they're playing, what they're doing, right? Just like we have to take a part. They have to hold themselves accountable. Well, you teach, there is always bigger lessons. Today's not the day to go down that, but there is bigger lessons. We attract avoidance for a reason sometimes, Some of you like the chase. Some of you, it feels like an accomplishment if you can get an avoidant to give you attention, right? So you have some wounds there too with that. We all do, right? So, but at the end of the day, we're all humans just trying to make it home peacefully, right? So what does Spirit want you to do right now? And I see the King of Cups, Cancer. You keep doing you. You keep doing you. You sit back with some popcorn and watch the show. All right? You're showing up as the King of Cups. But this is also not gloating. Right? Is that the word gloating, boasting? Not no I told you so's? Because your karma wheel will come back around on you. All right. So you got the King of Cups here, very scorpionic energy. All right. This is a deep energy. This is a deep knowing, and, this is just you holding back and being calm and patient with your person. All right. And, also learning. You've learned, you maybe have grown and have a lot more emotional intelligence than the person that you were connecting to. And this is where maybe you fought this person for so long, but they only know what they know, and this person was avoiding their feelings. So you may feel peaceful, maybe coming in, feeling some resolution, or maybe this just happens in the spirit realm, in the energetic world, and you just feel a release, like you just know, right? But this is asking you to stay calm and cool and not take any action. Aries, if you're connected to an Aries, I see the Page of Swords. It looks like Aries will reach out to you. All right, so we're looking at, I guess, what their next move's going to be with you guys. Aries trying to figure out what to say to you. Taurus, all right, there's still some faith there, Taurus over here thinking about, what you're up to, what you're doing, how can they make it work. All right, they still see a glimmer of hope in this connection, or they desire you. All right, Gemini, I see the Ace of Cups. All right, so Gemini coming in, not sweating it, saying, hey, I have feelings for you. Let's get things started. So a new beginning with a Gemini. I have Cancer. Look at this Four of Wands. This is a moment, tears of joy for you. This is one of these moments in your journals that you dot, you complete conclusion, you feel good, you reached a milestone. You've accomplished something in your life and you can put the rest to rest, right? You've learned a lot on this journey too. So your reading's very spiritual. right? So there's no boasting. There's nobody won. It's we've grown. And we're seeing a reunion come in for you, all right? A reunion. So you and another Cancer here making a home together or coming together and taking things a lot more serious. Leo, you got Leo twisted. You got Leo, you know, getting in their head, probably thinking about all kinds of different things, but their heart knows what to do. Your Leo has a big heart. Your Leo just doesn't like to be vulnerable at times, and when their ego gets in the way, they don't like to admit they're wrong, right? They're a fixed energy as well, too. But it feels like Spirit's pushing them and kicking their ass through the doorway to say, follow your heart, all right? So you can't force a Leo. You got to let Leo do their thing. Virgo, you know, hangman. So Virgo too. Virgo kind of hanging there, but they see things differently now. So you got some silence here between you and a Virgo. But what I'm seeing here is hang on. You keep doing you. You got to let go and surrender. They're just seeing things differently. They've got to be the one to make the move with you. All right, Libra, 9 of Cups. Hold on. 9 of Cups with a Libra. So Libra seems to be a little bit more lighthearted. That Libra energy, the Justice card. Libra here feels like, I can be honest with you. I really desire you. So it seems like your Libra is just going to be like, hey, you know, all right, you know, maybe we both fucked up, maybe, you know, but I desire you. So I see a happy reunion or relationship forming with you and a Libra. Scorpio, I see 4 swords, right? Scorpio's feeling relaxed, a little bit comfortable. Sometimes this is an avoidant energy too. It may feel like they're avoiding you, Cancer, but they're not. It looks like they're healing. And, you know, the more rest they take or the more space, you know, they're starting to contemplate on certain things in their life. So this is a temporary roadblock for you and a Scorpio. They'll slowly come out of their shell as well, like you do. But there's healing energy going on between you and a Scorpio. Sagittarius, 10 of Pentacles, all right? So Sag here wanting to invest in this connection. I see the 10 of Pentacles. You guys obviously have invested in this before. They feel a connection with you. It looks like maybe they're starting to see the potential of a future here. You could have a Sag, you know, stepping up to the plate here. Capricorn, I see the Page of Pentacles. So Capricorn also, it looks like Capricorn really wants to see where things go. And this can be my apology card. It can be let's take things slowly. But I really care about you and I want to compromise, right? So messages coming in with a Capricorn. Aquarius, I see 6 of Swords. So it looks like an Aquarius really wants to kind of skirt past things, right? And move forward. All right, can we get past this and move forward? Sometimes this card, I think today it's saying to me, don't let them get past not saying sorry. If you deserve a sorry, this kind of energy can be like, I'm sorry, let's go. You know, like I don't want to deal with it. All right, but it'll come out and bite you in the ass again later. All right, so this is dealing with it before you move forward, but it does seem like an Aquarius wants to move forward with you. Pisces, I see the King of Wands, right? Pisces following their heart. You got a Pisces very loyal to you and a Pisces feeling called to step up to the plate with you, all right? Taking action. All right, guys, that was Cancer. If you want TikTok, Aries through Cancer, and you missed it, you can go onto my YouTube and you can see I'm going through Aries through Pisces. Right now, I am moving on to Leo. Guys in the comments, I love it. And make sure, you know, I'm checking with you guys in the chat that everything resonates. Jean, Angel, Tess, thank you. Susie. All right, Leo, we have 104. Keep that chat going. All right. Let's see. Came in just in time, Archie. We're at 104 for Leo. Leo, 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 Leo. All right. Let's see. Leo. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Wherever you find your little lions. All right. Where you find your kitties. All right. Some of you don't answer that. All right. Let's go. All right. Let's see. Leo. Let's see your person's story. Let's see your person's story. I kind of threw that one in there. All right, let's see. All right, Leo, you got the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. All right. So obviously your energy is with this person. You inspire this person. They're attracted to you. And also this tells me as the overall energy though, that you've got you've got the energy to attract in your person, right? Use your power, use your manifesting power, right? You're in a very good energy. You're showing up in this reading, right? And I see the Hierophant here too. So maybe you're leveling up in a connection, right? Let's see. Use your power. Let's see your person's story and how they're viewing this situation. I see the Ace of Wands. So you got somebody's attention and you have an ace right out the gate, right, with the Hierophant. So somebody here, something's clicking with them. They're like, ooh, Leo's got my attention. Leo's got my attention, all right? And let's see how they view this situation, though. The King of Pentacles. So you have a Taurus energy showing up for you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but it's a strong Taurus energy. All right, so Leo, you got a Taurus energy. All right, so you're sitting there. You're being asked to remain confident in a situation. You're kind of, you gotta get one of those fishing rods with a steak or carrot on it, depending if they're vegetarian. And you gotta kind of lure them in with that energy of yours, right? Because you got their attention, but this is somebody that tends to take forever to finally make a move. It's like they gotta think about 10 years down the line or how everything's going to fit together. And they're also just very rigid. All right. I saw the Hierophant. So it feels like it's somebody here that it's not easy for this person to open up, or move forward. And they may have a lot of responsibilities on their plate. So, you may misread that too. They may be somebody that when they're so invested in work or something, their mind's on that and you're trying to figure out what they're thinking. I just watched a reel about a man and a woman, or masculine, feminine energy, and her getting upset because she's thinking something and he's like asking about the pigs, It's something totally different was on his mind than she thought. And that's kind of what I feel about your person. Try not to read into your person. All right. Now let's see their block though with this connection. The Queen of Cups. All right. So their block is being vulnerable. So I'm gonna clear this out right now. There's another person showing up, and with all of you guys who are dealing with complicated situations with third party, a person is gonna show up as a block, and you know this. So that's a situation that's gonna take time to play out. Today, I'm focusing on their feelings for you. So we're getting that out of the picture and we're looking at, I don't care what they feel about the other person. I'm looking at you. They care about you. They're into you. You've got the spark going, but this person is blocked by feelings and opening up and being vulnerable. They don't know how to express or process their feelings, right? So they're a little bit shy, a little bit held back when it comes to that, all right? They're King of Pentacles. I'm sure they're not shy about making a business deal. All right, so let's see how they view you, any intentions towards this connection, and what Spirit thinks you should do. All right, the Death card. All right, let's see. They view you as the Death card. I'll have to clarify that one. And the Six of Swords. You may be moving on from a situation, or, you're done with a situation. You have been grieving loss of something, but they see you finally having space in your life. And this person this is why they're feeling like there's room for them to come in. Even if this is a newer person, they may be feeling like you're moving on past something and you're looking different. So if this is somebody that you had heartbreak with, they may be looking at you like you finally let go or you finally moved on and now you're seeing things differently because you look more confident and this person is wanting to spark up conversation with you. All right. But either way, if you're moving on from a situation, this person is picking up this energy like, wait a minute, where are you going, Leo? All right. And that's getting this person to wake up and hopefully potentially communicate with you and decide to, get the party started and not hold back. So any intentions towards you this week? And I see the Chariot card. All right. So they may fumble a little bit. This person may not know what to say or do. They may fumble a little bit, but it does seem like this person is very focused on, getting something to move between the two of you this week. All right. So I see a return. I see somebody coming in. I see, whatever problem's going on between the two of you, it's like this person wants to confront it. I see Cancer energy and Taurus energy very strong in your reading. What does Spirit want you to know, right? And I see the Fool card, right? Whatever you're doing, all right, don't look back. That's your answer. Just don't look back, right? This is you, the Queen of Wands. You're doing your thing. Use your magic, use your power. Don't let your past, creep up on you, having doubts, reading this person wrong, underestimating yourself, how far you've come. Right. So this is basically saying just surrender and go with it and see where it takes you. You don't need to know all the answers right now, but I do see a fresh start coming in, and you have an Aries energy for you right there. So if you're connected to an Aries, I see Page of Wands. You got Aries attention. I see Aries wanting to reach out to you, flirt with you, keeping things light, but you can see there's an infatuation there. Taurus, I see Page of Swords. Right, so you got Taurus eyeball on you too. I want to talk to you and getting ready to reach out. So maybe they wrote some texts and they haven't sent them yet. All right, but I do see a Taurus on the verge of opening up communication. Gemini here, I see the Ten of Swords. So either they're panicking, going, oh shit, I don't know if this is it, right? You may have and plus with the Death card coming in for you, your Gemini may feel like you're done. And you may have a Gemini sweating it. All right. They could be coming back in, hoping to try one more time. Cancer, I see Four of Pentacles. Cancer's not letting go of you, but they definitely slow to open up. All right. They got their eyes on you. They want this to work, right? But it's like slow but surely. Things could work out between you and a Cancer. Leo, look at this. I can't make this shit up. You're showing up as the King of Wands now. I mean, you're on fire. You're on fire right now, right? You got some really good energy and you're the light. So this is when Leo is the center, when Leo's confident, when Leo's in a good place, when Leo feels safe and has loyal people around them and, has their team. You're the one that brings the light and, and helps all the people around you, right? You show the way. And this is why the Fool card was showing up for you, because this isn't about letting your insecurities or any doubts come back in. You're confronted with a situation. Face it like the Leo, the lion you are, and just keep moving forward. And you have to be the leader, which means you cannot chase. You have to have the courage to move forward. You and another Leo, all right, you're on the same page. It looks like they're finding the courage to step up to you. Virgo, Two of Wands, right? Virgo's you got their attention. It looks like they're taking action. All right, they're gonna dial that oh my god. They're gonna send that text. All right, you guys, they're gonna reach out to you. They want to see where things are going. Libra, I see Nine of Swords. So Libra definitely feeling like, oh shit, I really messed up, or, they're just wondering if you would even forgive them. Right. So I do see a possible confession coming in with a Libra, really sweating it. Scorpio, Two of Swords, right? So Scorpio on the fence again too, right? Not sure what to do. They're just, you guys seem to maybe see different perspectives. But you got to let a Scorpio come around. This is what it's telling me. They obviously, you cross their minds. And if they're thinking about you, they obviously care about you. All right. But they've got to make that move. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Three of Swords. So there may be a separation between you and a Sagittarius right now, but it's, it's for the best right now. It's not like they're trying. It's not easy for them. All right. They are trying to do what's right and they're trying to heal. But I don't feel like this one's over. It feels like it's too hard. They know they got to figure this out before they move on. So maybe you have a temporary separation happening with the Sagittarius. Capricorn, I see reunion. I see Six of Cups. So I'm seeing, you know, making amends. You know, I'm thinking about you. I want to get together with you. You guys both get each other, all right? But you also both can trigger each other, and you both can maybe bring up past shit and, you know, cause arguments or disagreements as well too. But I do see a reunion here with a Capricorn. Aquarius, I see Page of Cups. You got Aquarius opening up and expressing their feelings towards you. It looks like they do have feelings and they're growing for you, but it's not easy for them to open up. And so I see a new beginning coming in with an Aquarius. Pisces, I see Five of Wands. All right, there's a lot of drama between you and a Pisces. Right, we got to figure out, and pick our battles. Pisces has a lot more going on within than you might realize. It's really hard for them, whatever's going on. All right, they want to fight for this, but they don't want to fight about it. You know, there's a lot of tension between the two of you. This is an opportunity for you guys to figure out how to work together. All right, because it does seem like you guys have potential to make it work. And that was Leo. All right, Leo, welcome in. Make sure you guys are hyping the videos after the live is done. That really helps my videos grow. And I hope you guys are having a great time. Don't forget, I'm going live on Wednesday for New Year's with Archer. And we're going to bring it in around 4 p.m. All right. And TikTok, if you missed Aries through Leo, you can go to Frankie's Tarot on YouTube and watch me there. But I am now going on to my Virgos. Let's see. I gotta get 117. Good shuffle. Hello, Virgos. Virgo. You know, I always look at my horoscope as a Virgo rising, so especially for Virgo rising. January is gonna be a month, you know, supposedly a good month. Maybe some money, maybe some good shit coming in. You know, love, figuring out what you know, remember, this year is about Virgos trying to figure out love. You're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. You know, you're trying to meet that one, and relationships that aren't working are just not going to cut it. But January is supposed to be a really good month, so I'm going to hold where I heard that one to it. All right. So let's see. Virgo. Let's see your person, their story, and how they view this connection. All right. So I can see right now it feels like it's not going anywhere. All right. You have the Hanged Man. You have Pisces energy. It's overall. So overall, it's, you know, it's letting go. It's letting go of what you really think is happening. It's letting go of what you want to happen in the future. It's letting go of worrying about the future. Who the hell knows? With the Hanged Man, who the hell knows where it's going right now? It's in an energy of uncertainty, right? It's neither there or here. It's I don't know. But if we don't know, why are we going to create stories for the future? Why are we going to assume the worst and then start building our future in our head based off of that? This card is saying stop, sit, silence, let go, surrender, right? And your person might be doing this right now too. They just don't know where things are going between the two of you. All right. And I see the Eight of Pentacles underneath that. So this is somebody that's invested in you, Virgo. All right, the Eight of Pentacles. But it can also be somebody who avoids as well. There's that avoidant. But, you know, I can tell with cards, whether it's an avoidant that's a toxic avoidant for you, or if it's somebody who's avoidant and it seems like they're an avoidant to you because they process differently. So we'll see, all right? But I do see that that's the overall energy. Your person, the Two of Wands, all right? So there is this anticipation. There is this hesitancy. I am seeing that your person may be feeling like, yeah, we don't know where things are going, but we need to figure it out because it's uncomfortable for them as well. How do they view this situation, feel about this? Knight of Cups, all right? So obviously you got somebody's attention I love you. I like saying that because I think we all just need to hear it sometimes, right? I love you. This is a card of I love you. And this may be a card of somebody who doesn't know how to say it. But just because somebody loves you doesn't mean that the relationship is meant to go somewhere, or that we can get it, you know, I don't know, love's difficult. But it does tell me that there's potential for this relationship to heal and something to come of it. And I'm saying that because of the Two of Wands here. Somebody's still holding on to whatever you guys got. But that also means somebody's having a hard time letting go of whatever happened between the two of you. So how do we let go of the past situation so we can move on? You got to do the same thing. You both have to let go. Where does it start? It's only can start with the one that's aware of it. You got to be the one to do that. Letting go of the story. It's not letting go of your person. It's not letting go of the desire of getting back together. It's letting go of what you think the person and what you believe about the person and what you believe they believe about you. It's just shutting that off. All right. Now, somebody here feels a strong connection towards you and feels a pull to go down a new road with you. Like they know something's there, but we just keep going back to the old way. You know, it might be good for a minute and then something happens and we get twisted and we go down that same friggin' path where we trigger each other, where we block each other, where we get all pissed off. And it's like all that work we just put in right out the door, right? It's not easy healing. And we do get in relationships to heal too. So that old theme of healed, you know, we need to heal before we heal people, you know, to get in a relation. No. You need to be you need to be self-aware. We do help each other heal. Your person's block, the Knight of Pentacles, all right? So your person shuts down, all right, and a lack of accountability. Your person may know that there's something that they need to address, but they procrastinate. And this can be a very stubborn energy as well. But I want you to know your person, one, you're their block. All right. They can't seem to move. They're stuck on you. But two, there's an energy of judgment and criticizing and being overly critical, which means that the two of you may trigger each other by being very judgmental and critical of one another, paying attention to every little detail each other does, and trying to control a situation. And so your person may have a hard time, Virgo, letting go of that control of every little friggin' detail. And so as soon as one thing, oops, they're very cautious. As soon as one thing goes wrong, all of a sudden it's throw the hands up, everything's over, let's give up, right? So that's a block there for somebody. And know that this person's pretty hard on themselves as well too. And they may feel like you're hard on yourself as well too. So there is a little bit of a mirror in there, especially with your energy showing up. They also may feel like they can't meet your expectations. You know, you do have the highest standards. And I believe in the Zodiac, right? You really do. You just see the perfection in everything. And you're always working towards perfection. So your relationships, your people, you have to be perfect. And your person may feel that pressure. All right. So how do they view you and feel, and next intentions? The Seven of Pentacles. So, you know, they view you as somebody that, one, they're invested in you and they can see a future with you. But two, they also know that they're keeping you stuck. They know there's something here. They know you want to move forward. And yet this person here, this is the sense of urgency I'm picking up here. Your person is feeling a sense of urgency because they know that you can't wait around much longer. They know that you're somebody worth the investment. And they know that you're holding on for them. You're holding back, all right? Or they're feeling your energy. So what is their intentions? I see the Knight of Swords. You have the Knight of Swords coming in. This is how I'm going to sum up this situation without getting confusing, because I feel like you guys got the message. Your person is seeing things differently. They may have made choices in the past. You guys may have triggered each other. I can see you have a person here who gets very defensive. They're always prepared for a battle. This is somebody who's always prepared for a battle. So if you're criticizing or you're paying attention to everything, this person gets very defensive when you call them out. But the thing that's keeping them coming back around to you is they love you and they're realizing their part in it. But their block, though, it's a work in progress. It's not going to happen overnight. They got to learn to face and to take accountability of their own actions. But I do see somebody wanted to come in and defend their stance. They see there's a reason in this connection. They feel like, I got to know what this connection is about. Why are you in my life? All right. So intentions is to come back around. What does Spirit want you to know? The Nine of Swords. Virgo, get out of your head. This is part of the South Node in Virgo. This is part of this. You're ruminating and creating stories in your head, trying to figure things out, over-explaining yourself to yourself, over-explaining yourself to your person, all right? Talking yourself in circles. You're looping. Whatever you're doing in your mind right now, if you're saying that's you, that's part of your spiritual process, is learning to turn the dial down. Turn it down. That's all you're being asked to do. All right. And, your shame and guilt. Guilt is your biggest thing. Did I do something wrong? Could I have done something better? What if I did this? Did I make the right choice? Because maybe my life's not the way I thought it was. Did I say the right thing? Maybe blah, 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 blah. You're so hard on yourself. This is where you got to turn the dial down. All right. So let's look at Aries through Pisces and see if anybody, because we do have the Two of Wands, if they're going to reach out this week. Aries, King of Swords. So I do see communication coming in with an Aries. It looks like they want to stand up to their truth. Again, an Aries doesn't want to be wrong. So this is going to be one of these, maybe say it and then try to skirt past it. They don't like to be wrong, but this could be a time when you were right and they know it. All right. So I do see communication coming in, and you have a king. So a king coming in to step up to the play. Ten of Swords, Taurus. So Taurus here really feeling like they're losing you. All right. They're feeling the sense of urgency, this pressure that if they don't step up, they may lose you for good. All right. So Taurus here, the pressure's on. They could be panicking. Gemini, Six of Wands. Gemini is like, I want your attention, Virgo. I like your attention. But remember, this is also somebody that is pretty confident, likes to do their own thing, likes a lot of attention. I am getting, though, that you may read into things with Gemini. They may like a lot of attention. They may talk to a lot of people. They may be curious about a lot of people. But it's not easy to get a Gemini's heart, all right? Because they can move on quickly, but if they're into you, they're going to stick around, right? They want your attention. They want to get through something with you. So I do see a Gemini returning. Cancer, I see 10 of Wands, right? So Cancer definitely feeling the pressure as well. Oh, my son, very tough cookie, Shay. My Virgo is in TikTok right now. He's in Japan right now. I'm sorry, Virgo, but he's trying to make TikTok laugh, right? I love you. My Virgo is here to bring his Virgo love from Japan. All right. Love you. So Cancer, I'm seeing Cancer. He says I look beautiful. Cancer is not able to let go of you. They're still holding on. All right. They're feeling a lot of pressure. How can we make this work? Their internal world is about to explode. Leo, I see 9 of Cups. Leo wants to be with you, is very attracted to you. Obviously, there's nobody like you. All right. We got to figure out a way to make this happen. So a Leo is going to follow their heart. All right. You're the cookie with a Leo. Virgo, the World card. Virgo, you're stepping up in the world. And now I got to say this because my son's here. All right. You're on top of the world. You're on top of your game. All right. And there's a whole new chapter opening up for you. And the world card is telling me that you have succeeded, right? It may feel like there's not a lot of movement. And because a lot's not moving right now with that hanged man, you may start doubting your choices that you made in the past. And this is saying, no, you just got to be comfortable with the silence. All right, with the change that's happening, because there's a new doorway opening up here, a new chapter in your relationships. And, it's with another Virgo as well, too. All right, and we have Libra. I see the 3 of Swords. So there may be a separation with you and Libra. But what's happening here is Libra is having a hard time moving on. All right, but they got to face the pain. They got to face what's going on. So until they face it, they may be keeping silent. Scorpio, the Hierophant. Scorpio learning from you, learning their lessons. All right, you may have had a strong spiritual connection with the Virgo. With the Scorpio. And, you guys may both have learned your lessons. It looks like you both have grown. You may find yourself leveling up in a relationship with a Scorpio. Sagittarius, I see the Star card. You're still the light for a Sagittarius, right? They still see hope here. They still feel you. They're hoping for better days. That's what I get. Maybe it's been dark for them right now, or it's dark without you, but it does look like they're hoping for better days. Capricorn, I see the 8 of Wands, right? So I see a lot of conversation coming back and forth, but it needs to be honest. It looks like they want to be honest with you without, you guys getting into quickly and losing your shit. Aquarius, I see 5 of Wands. So we also see some tension here with an Aquarius. It looks like they're trying to fight it, or you guys are fighting, and it's like leaning back and picking your battles. But there's a compromise maybe coming in with you and an Aquarius. And Pisces, I see Queen of Pentacles. So Pisces has got you on their minds. It looks like I see a future with you, and, taking accountability. So taking responsibility for what they need to do in this relationship. I love you, Virgo. I love you, Shay. Thanks for showing up. And for those of you on TikTok asking about readings, my website is www.frankiestarot.com. All right. You can go to my website for readings. If you want a live personal reading, I am doing live chats on YouTube today at 4:30. And right now I am moving on to Libra. If you want to watch Aries through Virgo, you can find the replay on YouTube right now. Let's see, Libra. That was an awesome surprise. That just made my day. Libra. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising of Venus. Let's go. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We're looking at your person here. Libra. Libra, Libra, Libra. What does Libra need to know about their person's feelings? Let's see. Let's take a look at your person's story. What are they telling themselves about this connection? What's going on, and how do they feel? All right, well, we got a Wheel of Fortune coming in for you. So, this is bringing something around that needs to be resolved. So you may be seeing a pattern play out. All right. And this is a chance for you to decide to get off the wheel, choose a different route. It is a turning point right now in a love situation for you. Something needs to change, the way you approach a situation, right? Somebody in your life who's your karma could be coming back around for you. But I want to say, though, that it's not just with this person. This karma that's coming around is going to maybe show up in other relationships if it's not faced. And this is for both of you. So you guys were destined to meet each other so that you guys can figure out your lessons and move forward, right? At least that's how I look at it, right? So I do see the Knight of Swords. So this to me says a U-turn. It looks like somebody coming back around here to defend themselves, right? Maybe somebody said something to you. Somebody, you know, made a decision to move on, or, you know, created some, you know, an argument because they didn't want to see your viewpoint, or they just couldn't see your viewpoint. It doesn't always have to be an argument, but now they're starting to see your viewpoint. I do see that you are dealing with somebody that can be a little bit defensive, may get up in their head and get triggered by your truth. So when you say things that are honest, you know, your person, nobody, I'm a Scorpio. Your person is like, I don't like the way that makes me feel. And you know what? Maybe part of your lesson is, oh, well, too bad. You know, you got to deal with your own feelings, right? What I do see, though, here is somebody does want to come back around. So look at me with all the lessons today. All right. All right. Your person's story, 10 of Cups. All right. Family is very important to your person. The future is very important to your person. Feeling very close and feeling like they have somebody to sit down with and talk about the future, you know. So your person really does value comfort in home and relationships. And I'm going to get this out of the way right now. If your person is in another relationship right now, that's a complicated situation, and that's going to continue to be complicated. So I'm not bringing in that other situation. I'm just focusing on how they're feeling with you and the something that's shifting. Now we have a Wheel of Fortune coming around for you, so obviously there's a chance for some change. Now, how do they view this connection? The Two of Pentacles. So somebody doesn't know which way this is going. All right. It's like, what do I do next? Right. Well, you got to make a decision because you guys keep going around in circles. It's too much. It's too much. That looping, right? Somebody's got to make a choice. So it's got to either be you or the other person, right? But you're here. It's got to be you. You got to make a choice, right? If your person, you know, just can't seem to make a choice, or they seem to leave things up in the air, or they're unsure, you know, I'm feeling like this is what I'm feeling. You know, you got to make your own decisions. Your person is invested in you. They'll follow your lead. They'll follow your lead. That's it. So you don't have to engage in the chaos. You don't have to engage in the defensiveness. You don't have to explain yourself, over-explain yourself. You don't have to get caught up. You don't even have to make a decision to do anything. Just let your person work through their own stuff. They obviously have love for you. They obviously know that they want to make a choice. You're very important in their life. But they got to make that choice. And you don't need to plead your case. Their block, the Ten of Swords. So either they're afraid to hurt somebody, move on from somebody, or they're afraid to get hurt. Bottom line. This is somebody here that, you know, maybe love was conditional. Maybe they always had to do to get, and they don't know how to receive, you know. That's a lot of betrayal for somebody to go through. Now, the block is if this person has betrayed you, you don't think that they go back and forth with what to do next? And is it going to really work out? Will you ever truly heal from this? And you got to ask yourself that too. Will you ever heal from the stuff that has happened in the past? Can you forgive? Because the block is this person can't seem to move on from you. They don't want to lose you. But they also can't figure out what the hell to do to make it work. All right. So how do they view you? Eight of Pentacles. You're looking like you have no worries. You're looking like you got it together, grounded, and you're being kind of avoidant. You know, the Eight and Nine of Pentacles to me is a sign of avoidant. But it's not an unhealthy avoidant. I'm just avoidant because I'm avoiding conflict because I don't know what else to do type of energy. So I'm just gonna be over here tinkering around with what it is I can do and trying to make it work. You want to make it work. You really do. Maybe you're being patient. You're trying to be patient. You're just trying to see how things play out, work out. But this is, you're a grounded person for this person. This person finds that with you. They find stability with you. All right. How do they feel, and any intentions? The Three of Swords. They may be feeling they're losing you, or you've gone distant, or maybe they said something and you've pulled away, or you're questioning things, right? Maybe you're giving up on this connection because your person can't make a decision, or you can't make one. You know, I don't know. They could be looking at you like you're the one. Remember, this can be mirrored. All right. And I'm seeing this Three of Swords, though. This is really hard. They don't want to see you move on. They don't want to be separated from you. They don't like being away from you. It hurts still. But whatever's going on, this is where maybe you're supposed to avoid them, so that they make their decision. The only way they're going to step up is if they feel like they're losing you, maybe. All right. See your point of view. All right. So any intentions towards this right now? It looks like they're really holding on to the past. This is somebody that just can't seem to stop, maybe guilting themselves or beating themselves up over something that's happened in the past. You got this Ten of Swords and the Five of Cups. Somebody's easily hurt or has been hurt and is afraid to get hurt again. There's a sense of sadness here, and somebody here may be feeling like you're abandoning them. But they're disappointed in themselves because it feels like maybe they can't figure out whether or not it's their fault or not. Now, what should you do? The Devil card. Stop overthinking things. Deal with your own shadows that are coming up here. All right. This person may be triggering you, and it may be triggering old stories, old thoughts, you know, but this to me is like, release the energy, focus on what's coming up for you and release the energy. This is a chance for you to maybe heal something that's been lurking that you didn't realize, a trigger you have. Maybe you are avoidant. Have you ever asked that? Some of you guys here chasing avoidance, and you guys might be the ones who are avoidant. Some of you coming in saying, all right, they won't make a decision, but are you? Right? Is it just feel safer for you dealing with somebody who won't commit? But I am seeing something's coming up for you, and you're being asked to face some sort of shadow that's coming up for you. Now, if you're connected to an Aries, I do see there's a little bit of separation still happening between you and another person. It feels like they've got to make the move. All right. And nobody's happy right now. Let's see Aries through Pisces and see if they're going to take any action. Okay. Aries, Six of Cups. Aries wants to talk. Aries may react and may realize that they get defensive and they overreacted. It looks like they want to come back in and, make things right, apologize. Taurus, Two of Swords, they are shaking their head, their mind, their heart. They want to talk themselves out of it, but they know what's right. It looks like they want to call a truce with you. Gemini, Eight of Wands, right? Gemini here and wants to have some conversation, but it needs to be honest. They need to be able to handle honest conversation, all right? Things seem to get heated between you and a Gemini. It seems like things start to get, go out of hand, get out of hand, go back and forth, right? It's very passionate energy, but we've got to be able to have honest conversation. As soon as you're able to do that, you and Gemini could change the course of this relationship. So I do see communication coming in. Cancer, I feel like Cancer is still in this energy of meh, I don't know what to do. Like they're shutting down. It's like they're avoiding. And you're trying to give them all the love you can, and they're avoiding, right? They're avoiding what they need to do, right? So they're still in this place of avoidance, but they see you, and maybe they're trying to figure out what it is they really want themselves, right? I just get that a Cancer doesn't know exactly what they want with the connection just yet. Leo, Ten of Wands. So Leo is barely hanging on. You got a lot of tens showing up for you, Libra. So that could be, we are going into the 10th year, which is year 1. And I'm seeing the Ten of Wands. So your Leo here is barely hanging on. Your Leo might be having some internal struggles that you're unaware of. They're about to give up and give in, right? So something's going to break. Something's going to change between you and a Leo. Virgo coming back in, the Fool card. Virgo ready to start something up. All right. They don't know where things are going. So there is sort of a non-committal energy here too, but it does say, I want this. I want to take this and run with it. I want to go. Libra, you have the 5 of Wands. So you are definitely dealing with some conflict, possibly with another Libra. And you both are fighting it. You both have some inner conflict. You got to pick your battles, right? Both of you trying to control the situation, right? And you have a lot going on within. So there's an opportunity coming in for you and another Libra to find some common ground, compromise. Scorpio, 7 of Wands, right? Scorpio here, letting down their guards, but it seems like you got a defensive Scorpio, somebody who's very protective. They may be creating strong boundaries with you. One, because maybe they feel overwhelmed, right? They don't know what to do. They have a lot coming at them. The 7 of Wands sometimes for me feels like everything's coming at them at once and they're being asked. It's like, but hey, sometimes, you got to get in that, you got to be pushed into a corner so you finally take action. And that's what's happening with your Scorpio. And, they'll step up. It looks like they will come in. They will step up, assert themselves. Sagittarius, I see the Empress card. So Sagittarius has nothing but love for you, right? They're hoping for growth. There may be another person in the situation that could be blocking it. Who knows? But I do see they trust you. They do want to see where things go, and they're hoping for growth. Capricorn, Page of Wands. Capricorn's got an eye on you. I just see some flirting energy coming your way. There is definitely infatuation here. Aquarius, I see the Hierophant. So you're teaching Aquarius, what's going on, right? It seems like they want to level up in a relationship with you, right? They're starting to see the value of this connection. And Pisces, I see the 5 of Swords. So Pisces, not feeling too good about something that was said. You're going through some sort of challenges right now. They could be going through a lot of mental stress and can't figure things out right now. Maybe they don't know how to fix things just yet. But this is also room for growth and change and compromise. So maybe they're trying to work up the strength, the courage to come in and figure out how to say something to you. They feel very conflicted. All right, that was Libra. All right, TikTok, that was Libra. If you want to see Aries through Libra, you can go to Frankie's Tarot on YouTube, and you will see all of them there. You'll see me live as well. And I appreciate you guys being here. I'm new on TikTok doing lives. I'm just trying to get the hang of it. I try to go through Zodiacs, Aries to Pisces. And let's see Scorpio, and checking in on my group here. How is everybody doing in here? You guys resonating with the readings today? Let me know what's going on in the chat. How you guys doing? Scorpio 142. All right, Scorpio. All my Scorpios. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. I'm starting to like, my Scorpios are starting to like me on my channel. Maybe I'm being more scorpionic. My progressed ascendant has turned into Scorpio. Maybe now you're like, all right, she's owning it. She's being real. She's giving it to us. All right. And awesome, Taja. All right, let's see. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Let's take a look at your person's story, how they see this connection, how they feel about you. All right. Let's see, Scorpio. What's going on with my Scorpios? See, it's hard for me to do Scorpio readings because we're very private. Like, I don't want to give away Scorpio secrets, you guys in there. I don't want you, I don't want you guys, y'all be trying to read into it. And we're like, paranoid. Hey, let's do this, Scorpio. But we're looking at your person. I will probably call this out because I always do. Your person's story. I have the 10 of Pentacles. All right, so your person sees value in you, sees value in family. All right. You are definitely someone that, is they have either thought about it, ponder it, but they can see a really good life with you. You know, the problem always comes down to the block, and they're in another situation, you know. Let's just get that out of the way. You know, if somebody's in a family or somebody has another situation, you don't want to be a side piece, and you don't, you know, you got to wait for somebody to clear up there and leave. Because somebody always catches feels, and, you know, it never goes anywhere. Statistics. So now that we cleared that up, your person does see a future with you. And this reading's about where they want to see things go with you. Now, how do they see this connection? I see the Page of Cups. You're getting them to feel again, right? Says the one who can't keep a secret. I love it. All right. That's the honest Virgo rising. Page of Cups. You are showing somebody how to love again. So I feel like your person doesn't know how to receive love. That's been coming up a lot today. But I also get the feeling that people are wanting to, and something you're doing is getting this person to realize maybe nobody ever cared about them the way you do. Maybe nobody ever responded to them the way you do. Maybe nobody was ever as curious as you are. I mean, a Scorpio wants to know everything. You know, when we meet somebody, we're in a relationship, we're going to know everything, every friggin' thing about you. We have to. That's how we build trust. And your person might love that about you, but might not be used to it. And so there could be a block here with them expressing their feelings to you. And also, I do see somebody that may overreact a little and can be childish at times too. You know, they may push you away or do things that seem, you know, kind of immature. And you're like, what the hell, right? And all it's going to do is trigger you, because you know that you can pull up your immature as well. All right, you know how to do it. Their block. I see the 8 of Wands. They can't handle your honesty. They can't handle communication with you. You're very triggering. You trigger them. They trigger you. You both lose your shit. But it feels like you're very authentic and very honest with this person. But it's one of these things, I feel like I've said this to Sagittarius recently. Sometimes you just got to hold back your truth a little bit and just give it in doses, because it can put somebody into a convulsion. Somebody lose their shit. They feel like shit. Like, wow, all these truths. And then I'm getting all these truths thrown at me, and now I feel like shit. And we might be thinking, we're just helping you. I'm just telling you the truth. And yet another person feeling like they're falling apart inside, right? I'm seeing this person here has a hard time expressing their emotions, and they don't like to face truth. So let's see how, and they lose their shit easily too. So this person may trigger you. Let's go. How they view you. The Knight of Pentacles. Persistent. Scorpio, you're persistent, judgy, perfectionist. And you have this energy of, you know, you do a lot. This person admires you for your persistence, and you work through, and you get shit done. You're always moving forward. You're always willing to move forward. And I think, you know, this person is not used to that. You know, because Scorpio, I know I do. I'll forgive somebody right away if it's me. I have a scale, right? Do you have a scale of what you consider betrayal? Because most Scorpios have been betrayed so much that we can handle some stuff is like, people do that all the time. I don't care, right? I might get mad, but I'm over it, you know, and other people wouldn't get over some of the stuff that we can get over, all right? That's not good for us though, by the way, but we can do that. But this person might not be used to somebody who can fix things, or who comes back in and says, all right, let's look at this. Let's analyze the situation. Let's fix this. Let's go for it, you know? And you're teaching somebody how how a healthy family or how a healthy relationship works. All right. Especially if you're an evolved Scorpio. Right. If you're not an evolved Scorpio, I don't know, this ain't your reading. All right. Because Scorpio will be destroying everything. All right. But I see this person here. Not quite sure where to put you yet. What to do with this. All right. But you got them listening. You got them thinking. How do they feel in their intentions? I have the Two of Swords here. Somebody, you confuse somebody. They're, they've got feelings and they keep going around in circles. This card's been coming up a lot right now. Your person has to make a choice. Your person has to be willing to see things clear. You want transparency, right? You want to be able to talk about what's on your mind. I don't want to coddle people. If you can't say what's on your mind and somebody can't handle it, what kind of relationship is that? You're going to retreat. So your person, if they, keeps coming back around, they know you're right. They've got to be willing to have honest communication with you and to, see the clarity, see the truth. And you guys bump heads, and I don't think this person likes it, but they get very confused with you. Their intentions, I see the Three of Pentacles, right? I do feel like this person doesn't want to give up. I feel like this person wants to see you guys make it through, wants to see you guys work something out together. They got their eye on you. There's something about you that is unique to other relationships. You're holding them accountable. You're a boss, right? You have somebody trying to become boss here for your card, Knight of Pentacles, which means that you're pay attention. You're not giving up. You do so much for this person, and this person sees it, and they value that with you. So I see this person really wanting to fix things with you or make it work with you one way or another. But what I'm seeing here is that you're at the beginning stages. You guys are working through some new problems, so things are going to show up. And this card here is telling you, Scorpio, it's work. You're putting the work in, and it's hard work with this person. But I am seeing here that you'll get your return of investment with this person, especially with the Ten of Pentacles showing up for you. Now, what does Spirit want you to do? I have the Star card. Follow the light, right? Follow the light, right? Don't lose hope. All right. This is where you can't fix everything. You can't, maybe for you, you are overanalyzing the situation. Maybe you are trying to control every detail of the situation, because you can do that too as well. This card's asking you to loosen your grip a little bit and have faith, that this situation, you guys will come back into alignment. But there's a learning curve here. So you and another person are figuring each other out. And if you want to make this work, neither of you can really compromise your values, but you got to learn how to compromise together, learn how to work together. So you're going through something serious with somebody. Let's see Aries through Pisces and see what I get for each zodiac. All right, Aries. I see Five of Wands. You and Aries going head to head. All right, you and Aries both ruled by Mars. All right, look, you and Aries can have the best relationship, or you both rule the tower, right? You and Aries can destroy the world together, pinky in the brain, right? Or you can make it work. That's it, you and Aries. And so we got to pick our battles. And it does look like you and an Aries really trigger each other. So you may have some confrontation coming your way. Taurus, I see Page of Wands. So I'm seeing that they are very attracted to you. You got their attention. All right. You get them going. They're not going anywhere. It looks like they got their eye on you, and some communication coming your way, maybe some flirting. Gemini, I see the Chariot card. Gemini feeling pulled to return or coming in. This card is like, all right, we got to work through this. We're learning, we're getting it, right? But where there's a will, there's a way, right? Let's see, they're meant to be there. There's a major arcana. It's like Spirit saying, I'm not letting this one get away too easy. You got to deal with it. Cancer, 9 of Cups. So a beautiful energy with you and Cancer. You know, this is you getting, you know, this is you feeling very happy, very satisfied with the outcome. So whatever's going on between you and Cancer, you know, you guys are understanding, you're learning, you're growing, right? The outcome is going to be favorable. Leo, I see the Queen of Pentacles, right? So Leo kind of pondering, hanging back. You're very important to them. They're looking at the future here. They're not somebody that moves quickly, but they care. And so they will want to make amends. They will want to fix things. They'll want to work on things with you. Virgo, I see the 3 of Wands. So Virgo's still seeing potential future with you. You know, they're like, I don't know what's going on. We're just kind of trying to figure things out as we go. So again, this is another learning period type of energy. It's like, we'll make it through. We'll figure it out. All right. So if you've been waiting on a Virgo, looks like they're coming around the corner. Libra, 8 of Swords. So Libra might be up in their head a little bit, really confused about what to do about this situation. Maybe they're dealing with some of their own shit. You know, it doesn't always have to do with us, but or maybe they are projecting a little bit. Who knows? But it does feel like a Libra is dealing with some doubts when it comes to, you know, you're triggering them. You trigger them a lot. All right. And so a conversation, you know, may need to be had between you and a Libra, but confronting the insecurities here. Libra may need to confront their own insecurities. Scorpio, you have the 5 of Swords. There's nothing more you can think about. There's nothing more you need to do. You don't need to over-explain yourself. Fix things. If you're fighting with somebody right now, or if you're getting in disagreements with your people and you're getting blocked right now, or you know, you don't know what to do, you don't need to explain yourself to somebody. Or if you said your truth to somebody and then it caused a fight and now you're regretting it, was it your truth? If it was your truth, they got to deal with the issue, and you know, you got to deal with the outcome. You know, maybe it's silence, maybe they need to sit with what they said. I don't know, but this change here, there's nothing more you need to do. There's more of an energy of, if we keep fighting this, especially with another Scorpio, we're going to hurt each other. So we need to back down a little bit and let the situation breathe. Sagittarius, I see a King of Swords. So Sag coming in, communicating their truth. You know, you do see that they don't want to be emotional about it. They want to talk about it. Capricorn, I see the Sun card. So Capricorn's, you know, got nothing but love for you. So I see a renewal, right? I see new romance. I do see a Capricorn's falling in love with you. Aquarius, I see the Temperance card. So Aquarius is hoping that we can just kind of go with the flow, you know, take things as it comes. You know, they like things to be peaceful, so they will avoid any distractions. They will avoid too much. So if things get too much and you're too intense, Scorpio, I'm trying to figure out how. I've had Aquarius friends, but never dated them. But you know, your intensity and your need for attention in a relationship could smother, you know, your Aquarian. They seem to need a little bit more freedom and pace, and you know what I mean, like go with the flow, you know. But I do see that you guys, you know, there's something about this connection that brings you guys together. You guys are teaching each other moderation. They need to come your way too. All right, so I don't want you to walk away with that thinking, oh, you got to back up. No, they need to come your way too. Pisces, 6 of Pentacles. And it looks like Pisces is realizing, you know, they need to give more. They want to give more. You're very generous with your time, and maybe they need to step up. You could be making plans with a Pisces. Hello, everybody. TikTok is busy today. Guys, I want to be able to interact with you. I can't interact with the chat as much, so I'm sorry. But TikTok, I'm very grateful that you are here. I'm doing Aries through Pisces on YouTube right now, and I just finished Scorpio. So if you want to watch Aries through Scorpio, you can head over to Frankie's Tarot. All right, guys. I'm glad they are resonating. I'm glad you're liking them. Sagittarius, 205. Let's see. All right, not too shabby with time. All right, Aquarius. Let me get some iced tea. All right, Aquarius. Aquarius, Sagittarius. Sag. All right, Sag. I'm getting a good shuffle to get a good flare in here. Breathe for those of you that like to scroll too fast, right? Just give me a second. That sun, moon, rising. Sun, moon, rising. Venus. But choose one, try to. All right. Queen of Swords. Overall energy for my Sagittarians. All right. So I can see the overall energy is, I don't want any more bullshit. I want the truth. All right. Now it looks like both of you are at a standstill. There could be a ex, there could be somebody else, third party. There could be, somebody like that. But if that's not the case, let's just get that out of the way now. I do see an air sign showing up for you. I see a feminine energy. But I also see somebody here that is trying to look at the situation from a less emotional perspective. And their decision is not easy. So what they decide to do, we'll see, but it's obviously very uncomfortable to make some of the hardest decisions. It looks like somebody does want to communicate with you. I have the Knight of Pentacles underneath that, which can be an earthy energy for Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, but Virgo. And this is Libra. And it does look like somebody is, trying to weigh things out and, what do I say? And let's try to make things work. You got that energy. I want to make things work, but let's cut through the bullshit. I don't want any broken promises, right? So if somebody's been giving you a bunch of broken promises, this is where, there's going to be some, call outs, right? There's going to be some cuts being made with that Queen of Swords. Let's see a person's story and how they're viewing this connection. I see the Hanged Man, right? So they have been kind of holding back on you. That doesn't always mean that they're not keeping tabs of you. They're just not sure what to do. It's a Pisces energy. It feels like they're stuck. I don't want things to be the way they were. I know a lot's changing. I know a lot's happened. Maybe they're starting to realize they don't want a certain situation in their life anymore. They don't want to live a certain way, and or they don't want to be alone anymore. It can be a million things that they really are surrendering to, and they do see that they want something to change, right? But they just don't know how or what that means or what that looks like. All right, and so let's see how they're viewing this connection. I see the Death card. Right, so they may be feeling like something is over. I don't know if something was said. I don't know if you've made a cut. I don't know if you've pulled your energy back. But there is a silence here that's happening. And there's somebody here that's appearing to let go. But it's not letting go here. It's somebody's changing and doesn't quite know where this relationship is going and how it fits. So you've got a situation here. What's their block? You got Scorpio, Pisces energy, the Four of Swords. They're trying to avoid change. It's not that they're trying to avoid you, but this person doesn't like their feathers ruffled. They don't like their situation. They like to, stay detached from things, right? Don't complicate things. They don't want things complicated. And that's the thing is like, I got the Queen of Swords here. Well, all right, we don't have to complicate things, but we need to be honest with each other and we need to know where the hell this is going because I don't want to hear this bullshit. All right. And it can bring out, some sass. Right. But your person here, just kind of sitting back and being like, just trying to figure things out, they get overwhelmed. Relationships overwhelm this person. It feels like, I've done this before. And when I get caught up in situations, all of a sudden, it just leads to the same place. And I'm tired of being unhappy. But also this person is tired of being alone. They don't want to be alone either. Now, they want somebody to snuggle up in that bed with them, but also not just for one night. All right. Maybe for you, what's happening with you is that you're getting them to see you're not like the people from the past, and we've all grown and something's changed and we can make things different. But your person's got to be willing to step up. So let's see how they feel about you and how they view you and any intentions. So you got the King of Cups, all right? You got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, how they view you. So this person values you. They value what you bring to the table emotionally. They feel very close to you. You may be very patient with this person or very loving, very attractive. This person is drawn to you, and obviously you may have something about you that this person just can't figure out. And this could be why you might be the one that's cracking the code with this person, Sag. They're like, you got them hooked. Very magnetic energy. All right. So let's see how they feel in intentions. The Moon card. Your person's inner world is all shaken up right now. You've got your person questioning everything. You got them dealing with the feelings and emotions that they don't want to deal with. So we can say, oh, isn't it avoidant? Yeah, sometimes that is an avoidant. Is it unhealthy? I don't think it's super unhealthy. I think that this person wants to change. I think this person is afraid of because of past traumas. I feel like this person is overwhelmed with the King of Cups showing up. Maybe Sagittarius, you have a deep way of bonding with people and they've experienced something with you, the depth they've never felt with anybody. And now they don't know what the hell to do with it. What do I do? The Moon card. You got somebody's internal world all over the place. One minute they might be thinking about where things can go. The next minute they might be like, hell no. You trigger them. Avoidance will look at any excuse to be triggered and run. But what keeps them coming back is somebody with emotional intelligence. And that could be you, and that's healing energy. You're helping somebody see where they need to let go and evolve. All right. So what's their intentions this week? I do see a lot of Pisces. I do see Cancer energy and Scorpio energy showing up for you. Very watery energy. So if you're not dealing with a water sign, you're definitely dealing with emotion. And you're dealing with somebody here who's in their emotions for you. So there's no doubt that this isn't just a lust one is done, type of BS, right? You got somebody, all right, Sag, you got me feeling, all right. But their actions towards you right now are conflicted. It seems like they're fighting it. And it's this Moon card. It's their inner world. So what does Spirit want you to know before I go any further for you? The Seven of Cups, all right? So this is, you got to choose wisely. And I'm going to say how you're feeling. Because this person could really trigger you. This energy they're carrying within and their doubt and their own fight, their inner world, you forcing this or you trying to help them or fix this, this is not your battle to fix. And so you may take it personal or get mad if this person reacts to you or overreacts and leaves you second guessing. And this just is not your battle. And the Seven of Cups is this energy of they may be making you feel like an option. And no, you're not an option. You're a King of Cups here showing up. But there's so many possibilities for this relationship to evolve. You have to choose which direction you want to go in. Do you want to believe that this person, is, conflicted and doesn't have feelings for you? Or do you want to force it out of fear? Or do you want to continue just to realize that if this is going to happen, it's going to happen? So what Spirit's asking you is, if this feels real to you, don't give up on your dream with this person. But you've got to let go of the expectations of this person right now. Expecting too much from somebody and expecting them to meet you where you're at when they may be going through some process is what's bringing you disappointment. So stop fighting this. You got somebody in their feelings. Let's look at Aries through Pisces. And there's obviously something shifting with this person, just not as fast as you want it to. All right, let's see. You guys love when I say that, right? Let's see, Aries, King of Wands, right? Aries is very loyal to you. I feel like Aries right now is on point. So it seems like a really good energy for you and Aries to step up, and you guys are both very loyal to one another, or you could build a commitment here moving forward. So an Aries potentially stepping up, showing you their heart. And I have Taurus, slowly but surely, all right? They're very guarded. You have 4 Pentacles, but they're in too deep. They already got they've already invested in you. You've already had them moving. Once they started getting up and walking, they're walking, they're just slow, but they're not turning back. All right. They're just making sure that they're safe. They're comfortable. All right. Let's see. We have Gemini, 2 of Swords. Gemini is still on the fence. Right? This is going to require you can't force somebody to make a decision. They got to decide whether they're going to follow their heart or their mind. Cancer, the High Priestess. Right? Cancer lurking in the background. They're just trying to do what feels right. They got their eye on you. They feel intuitively called towards you. They feel this connection. They're not letting go of you. My Cancers love the Sagittariuses. I don't know. It's the challenge. It's the game. It's the chase you give them, maybe, right? But or the challenge you are to them. But I do see that they're lurking behind, and you may, in time get, a response from them. But it does seem like they're trying to figure you out. Leo, Page of Wands. Leo not holding back. My fire signs don't hold back. So you got a Leo here stepping up, some flirty conversations coming in. You guys definitely both know you want each other. Virgo, the Empress. Virgo wants to see things grow with you, maybe not sure how to step forward. They could be a little insecure about things, or, maybe a part of them is hoping that things will unfold naturally, or you will come towards them, or you'll continue to just water this relationship and see where it goes. Obviously there could be somebody else in the picture that's holding it back, but their love for you is still growing. Libra, 8 of Swords. Libra is coming up again in their head. Maybe they feel a little doubt. You're triggering them, right? So if they're pulling back their energy, you're making them see things they don't want to look at just yet, but it's something they got to deal with, right? So there is still, you got them being all kind of worried and panicky about something. They could be panicking that they don't want this to end, but yet they just don't know what to do about the situation to make it work. Right. I've been picking up on that the last few days. Scorpio, the Hermit card. So Scorpio may be distant from you, quiet, but the light's still on. They still see you. All right. You may have been an important player in this person's life. You may, again, play an important part in their life in the future. But you have a journey, and it's about the journey. It's not now. So it may take some time with you and a Scorpio. Sagittarius, I see the Temperance card. Sag, this is your card, and it's not because you're patient. It's not because you do things in moderation. It's not because you're easygoing all the time. It means that this is the hardest stuff sometimes for you to do. You're usually easygoing when you want to avoid something and get to the point, right? But things aren't always that easy. People aren't easy for you. All right. You got a different energy. You're a different person. You're a half man, half horse. You are different. All right. So I am seeing the Temperance card show up for you. And this is, things are working out. You're obviously doing what you're supposed to be doing, but it is asking you to let things happen organically. Don't force things, right? And you're seeing things come into balance between you and another Sag. But you guys may be triggering each other being so much alike. I mean, yeah, we have others. We're not all Sag, right? Just because your sun's Sag, you're not all Sag, but we're focusing on a dominant quality right here when I'm just talking about Sag. And it just may be that you guys are teaching each other patience. Capricorn, I see the sun card. So the sun's about to shine between you and a Capricorn. There's a lot of love here. You know, maybe it needs to start off with just friendship vibes. You know, maybe we can reconcile, take it slow, or maybe we're falling in love and somebody's just want to take it slow. Aquarius, I see the Tower card. Ooh, that's the first time. So Aquarius, Sagittarius, what's going on? Expect some abrupt change. We do have, all right, from now to New Year's, even New Year's, what's today? I'm not going to go into it, but there's a couple days coming up here where we all might, you know, deal with something unpredictable coming in that could change the course of the relationship. You have a Tower, so this is my makeup, breakup, shake up, or wake up call, you know? And so, you know, you may be surprised with what's going on with an Aquarius, but it's definitely going to make some change. And Pisces, I see the Seven of Wands. Pisces here still determined to make things work. You are dealing with somebody that, you know, under pressure seems to, you know, put their walls up or get very defensive. But this is somebody that's still pushing forward towards this connection. You guys, they just, you know, that can be a little bit of a roadblock, though. They may have you blocked, you know, there could be some challenges you're dealing with. All right. All right. TikTok. Hello. Just know I can't communicate with you on the text. I'm doing YouTube right now and TikTok. I am moving on to Capricorn right now. So if you want to see Aries through Sagittarius, you can go back to YouTube under Frankie's Tarot and see that I'm still live, right? But right now, I appreciate you all being here and making those comments in there. And know that, yeah, that's it. I'm going on Capricorn right now. All right, Capricorn. Oh, Capricorn's got a good number. 2/22/22. And it's your birthday. And it's your birthday. All right. I have so many Capricorns in here. I'm apologizing now if I don't remember your dates of your birthday, even though I have some of your birth charts. All right. Happy birthday to each and every one of you. I will say it every day. Wear your crown the entire time. Right? This is your season, and there's a lot of energy going on right now. And this is not your time to be sad. This is your time to embody all the energy that's coming your way. It's a reset for you. It's a new solar return, a new solar year. It's closing up last year and putting on the new you and the new, how do you want to face the world now, right? So this is your time to shine. Happy birthday. All right, so let's see your person. Happy birthday, TikTokers, Capricorns, 120. Let's see. Your person. Let's see your person's story and how they view this connection and their feelings. All right. Capricorn, you have the Empress as the overall energy. Taurus, Libra. So I am seeing here a lot of growth. A lot of growth may have been happening. Seeds were obviously planted already with somebody in the past. So there could be growth coming in for you right now. Now, before anybody gets triggered, this doesn't mean that it has to be a horrible past person coming into your life. It means that you have changed. Somebody, you met somebody, you may have connected with somebody, somebody you may have been interested in but wasn't available is now available. You know, things like that can happen. So this could be somebody that's in your energy. But we are seeing there's been some growth and something could manifest when it comes to a relationship here. This is a beautiful card to start with. Let's see your person's story, the Two of Swords. All right, so we are seeing somebody with quite a little dilemma here. How do they view this connection? The Wheel of Fortune. Ooh. What'd you do to somebody? You got them spinning around and around, replaying things. Somebody constantly replaying the situation. What do I do? I want to take my chances. I want to do this, you know, but I also feel like maybe I made I said something stupid, or I did something, or I'm just not sure what I want to do. Somebody really cares about you. The Empress card, right? Somebody really cares about you. And the Two of Swords can be, I'm torn, you know, my mind, you know, obviously my heart knows what my heart wants, but my mind, I'm just like, is this what I need right now? Or what do I do? Is this working? You know, you might be dealing with somebody that just overthinks every move and cannot seem to make a decision because they don't want to repeat the past. Your person does not want to repeat a cycle. And they've dealt with enough karma. And for some of your people, they may be dealing with the karma right now. They may be, you know, beating themselves up because, you know, they said or did something, or they got themselves in a situation and, you know, they followed their heart, but they weren't thinking straight, you know, and now we're stuck. You're stuck in the middle of a lesson here with somebody. So let's see their block, the Two of Pentacles, right? So it's like your person is somebody that cannot figure out which way they want to go right now. The only thing I can tell you about the twos is that somebody opted in to the journey, which means they walked through the doorway, the Ace of Swords. They saw the clarity. They know what they want, but now they're letting everything get to them and they're talking themselves out of it. The Two of Pentacles. They saw you as somebody that's worth the investment. They saw you as somebody who could really take them somewhere and grow with them, teach them, right? Not in a needy way, right? Not like that. I don't like to bring that into this kind of, you know, this is somebody though that values you. They saw potential. But then they get to the twos and they get overwhelmed and it gets, oh my God, everything's coming out. What do I do? I don't know. Now I'm juggling two situations, or I'm juggling, you know, my failures versus, you know, my successes, or I'm judging the pros against the cons. I'm thinking, you know, what ifs, and, you know, it's like, come on, loosen up, let go of control. And, you know, your person needs to, maybe you need to. This could be a mirror energy too. I always like to get, you know, I don't like to call you guys out to your reading. I want to be nice, but it can be vice versa. When you have twos, it can show a mirror and a effect, right? It can say you guys go back and forth. You take turns doing this to one another. 1 minute you're confusing them, the next minute they're confusing you. But whatever it is, you guys are spinning around in circles and you're getting nowhere. This situation is going nowhere, you know? It's just grinding. You're all right, how do they view you? The Seven of Wands. They may see you as somebody who's very defensive, very guarded. All right. Now, this could be the triggering part, right? They may feel like you take things personal or you're under a lot of pressure. You may work too hard. They may see you as working too hard, doing too much. You need boundaries. They may see you as trying to do everything for everyone or trying to do too much for them. They don't need you to do stuff for them. And that's something I've learned. I've had to learn. A lot of you people that come into these readings, you're a person who feels like you need to nurture or fix, or especially the feminine, the queens in here. You guys think that you need to do something to make somebody feel better. No. Your person doesn't need you to do anything more. You're doing too much. You need to pull your energy back is what I'm seeing here. Your person can see that you're getting overly defensive or tense, or there's something building up, and maybe you feel like this person is attacking you because they can't make a decision. And it's very triggering. They trigger you. And I just feel like you guys your person here is just, they got to figure out their shit. They got to figure out their shit. Even though you might have the answers, and maybe you can make this person's life a joy. Maybe you're an amazing catch. You just got to hold space and let somebody, and stop trying to fix them all the time or question them. And man, I got a big mouth. I do this all the time too. But I got the answers for you. Who gives a shit? Your person has to make their decision themselves. All right. Now, how do they feel about you? The Three of Pentacles. So if there's anything, look at this. The Two of Pentacles to the Three of Pentacles. Like, you obviously have qualities that this person really sees. They see you. They care about you. They want to make this work. But that piece of the puzzle and this choice they have to make is the choice that they have to do themselves. And the safer they feel to be able to make their own choice, the more trust they'll have with you, and the sooner they'll open up and they'll come towards you. And that's the Empress card. You lean back, you have to trust. That's the bottom line. You've got to lean back and know your worth, know this person wants you, and let them do their little dance. And don't let it fuck up your day, right? They need their space to make their own choices. They want to work it out with you. You're somebody that probably could really add quality to this person's life, or you do, and they know it. All right. That's the thing. What's their intentions? So we have the Three of Wands. Right now, the Three of Wands is this person is trying to figure out the future. They're trying to figure out what happens next. Your person may be getting ahead of themselves and looking too far ahead and getting themselves all, anxious. But their intention is to figure out where this relationship is going. They want it to move forward. You got the threes coming in and the twos, which means that I'm feeling called. I'm taking you serious. I take you serious. I see you. All right. But I want to figure out where this is going and how we're going to do this. And I do see your person here is trying for you, trying to give you what you need, or they will be. The Three of Wands shows me your person coming around here. So if you've been waiting on them, it looks like you could finally get your results in, all right? Or get some movement. We'll stop there. What does Spirit want you to do? Focus on yourself. 8 of Cups. Stop ignoring your own feelings. The thing about somebody else, and this is the part where people check out on me, but this is the stuff I have to learn. When somebody else doesn't need you as much as you need them, you got to deal with your own feelings. When somebody is taking space from you, they're dealing with their own stuff. It has nothing to do with you, but it triggers fears of abandonment in you. And so you may be not feeling comfortable with these fears of abandonment, want them back in your life so you can stop feeling that feeling that you don't like. And that's just a feeling. This person might not be abandoning you, but you think they are. And your anxious attachment pulls them back in. And they never get that chance to make a decision themselves. So you stay on this karmic loop. This person wants their freedom to make their own choice. You, with the 8 of Cups, have to work on dealing with your own feelings. Your feelings of abandonment, your feelings that are uncomfortable when you don't like how somebody says something to you or what somebody says. If somebody needs space, they need space. It doesn't feel good. And this is an avoidant energy, Capricorn. And I put, and this means that you're trying to avoid some of the things that Spirit's trying to say. You got to take a look at your own shit. Because you may be sabotaging your own situation here because you're afraid to let somebody really in. So I just went a little bit deep there, a little scorpionic on you, but that might be it. All right. So let's look at Aries through Pisces. Aries, don't lose hope. They're not. They might be going through a tower moment. Inside, they might be feeling unstable. They don't know what the hell to do. But it looks like they still have hope in this connection. All right. And we have Taurus, we see 10 of Wands, right? Taurus here barely hanging on. So again, Taurus is coming up with, this is heavy for me. I'm dealing with a lot. A breakthrough coming in with a Taurus. They're barely hanging on. They'll figure it out. Gemini, I see the Lovers. Right, Gemini's in love with you, and obviously that always pulls you guys back together. But again, this can be a karmic-y, kind of twin flamey thing, and if you're not dealing with your triggers, you're going to continue to repeat the pattern. And it's going to be very, very turbulent. Cancer, the Tower card. So Cancer, you guys, you know, it looks like, you know, they're dealing with something more than they're letting you know. There's a lot going on in their inner world. They're shooken up. They don't know what to do. Something that's happened or something that's happened between you or in their life is getting them to wake up. So anything is possible here with your Cancer. Leo, I see 4 Pentacles. Leo's invested in you, and you guys will move forward. They're slow to open up. They're testing you maybe. And we have Virgo, Queen of Swords. So Virgo is about conversation and honest conversation. So it does look like Virgo wants to clear something up with you, or at least be straightforward with you. So I do see communication, being straightforward. Libra, I see 4 Cups. You know, it looks like Libra here is just feeling kind of stuck. I don't know what I want right now. You know, I've gone through relationships where I felt unhappy, and I don't know what's happening right now, but I don't know what I want. So no matter what you do for Libra, they're not going to change this mood until they figure out what they need and what they want. So they're not meeting you where you're at just yet. And so by doing more is not going to get back anything more. It's just going to make you feel worn out. All right. So they could be ignoring you and just not 100% sure about what they want to do next. And we have Scorpio. I see the Hierophant. So I'm seeing Scorpio here feeling connected with you. Scorpio feels like, you know, Scorpio and Capricorns, right? You guys are power couples. You guys could rule the world together. All right, the Hierophant. I see you guys stepping up, possibly learning lessons, and maybe taking your relationship to the next step. Sagittarius, I see the Page of Swords. So Sagittarius has got something to say to you, and it looks like they're gathering up, you know, what to say, you know, how can I say something to you? This card is a reminder, though. Make sure not to get pulled in or misread anything. You know, think twice before you send that text. Capricorn, you have the 3 of Swords. So you may be going through a separation right now with somebody, or somebody's pushing you away. You may be feeling sorrow. You may be having separation anxiety. You may be feeling a lot of pain right now, heartbroken. You may feel like somebody doesn't love you, or somebody's, you know, distant from you, and you want to fix it. But that's part of the things that you got to process those feelings. A 3 of Swords doesn't mean the relationship is over, but it stopped because there was something going on that wasn't working. It was not working. You know why you broke up. You just didn't want to break up. But you also weren't dealing with the issues. So you're heartbroken right now, and Spirit's asking you to heal that. Give yourself some space. You might be dealing with anxiety, thinking it's over. So rather than focusing on thinking it's over, focus on just healing and thinking about what went wrong, you know, and how can we fix this in the future? But by giving each other valid space so that you can heal. It doesn't look like your Capricorn wants to move on. It doesn't look like they're feeling any happier. Aquarius has love for you, 2 of Cups. It looks like you could have a conversation that brings you guys closer together. You guys are developing a strong relationship. You guys seem to share deep feelings. And Pisces, Ace of Pentacles. So Pisces sees value in this connection, and it looks like a Pisces getting ready to walk through that doorway. All right, I'm ready to make an offer. All right, guys, I love you. Happy birthday. I'm a progressed Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Venus. So I see through your lens. So if I triggered anybody, I may have been projecting. I don't know. But don't take a trigger as a trigger. I'm going through a lot of healing processes, and you know, so a lot of my readings come from that viewpoint. All right, TikTok. Hello. How are you? I am on live on YouTube and I'm on Aquarius now. And this is new for me to go live on TikTok. I'm trying to do both. So I'm not ignoring you if you're in there. I see you. I just can't chat. I'm not that cool yet. But if you want to see Aries through Capricorn, you can go to Frankie's Tarot on YouTube and you can see the whole video there. But right now we are moving on to Aquarius. And we are going to be at... All right, let's see. Aquarius. What is going on? Let's see. I see the gifts and I see everything else. I don't even know what to do with those. Oh, I'll figure it out. I love you guys. All right. Aquarius. How does your person feel? Let's see their side of things. You know, that's kind of what I'm doing. And today I'm looking at their side of things, and you know it can be a reflection. But don't always immediately go to a reflection or a mirror, because maybe it is something that you might be doing and Spirit wants you to take a look at it, you know? But it can be, roles can be reversed. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Let's see. All right, 8 of Wands. Overall energy is honest communication and being able to handle honest communication so that we can move forward. All right, that's what that energy means. There's a lot of pressure. You know, somebody may be feeling pressured, like they don't know how to speak their truth, because if they speak their truth, maybe, you know, shit gets out of hand. Somebody loses their shit or gets emotional. Very intense energy. So it's like we need to be able to converse back and forth, even flow, be able to speak our truth without being afraid that you're going to get mad or that they're going to get mad. I mean, you definitely need this. If this person's doing this to you, you know, you need to be able to speak your truth without them freaking out. But it has to work both ways when it's the overall energy. I do see communication coming in, but I see 8 of Swords. I see somebody very hesitant to communicate with you because it feels like they trigger you. Whenever they speak their truth, they trigger you. And there's a lot of doubt there behind the scenes. There's a lot of, you both are coming from a place of limiting beliefs, and you're arguing through triggers and traumas and fears, and you guys just keep losing it over this, right? So let's see what's going on. Your person's story about the situation, the Death card. All right. So somebody may feel like something's ran its course, or somebody may be going through something, right? I'm not gonna, just because the Death card there, let's move forward a little bit. I don't want to, you know, you guys. How do they view the connection, the 10 of Wands, though? What's their block? What's their block? The Magician card. All right. So I need the full story for you. How do they view you? The 6 of Wands. How do they feel about you? The 5 of Wands. And their intentions towards this connection, the 3 of Cups. All right. And what does Spirit want you to know? The 2 of Wands. All right. So I'm going to start with, first of all, slow down. All right. And slow down. The 2 of Wands, I'm going to start with you, because the 2 of Wands can say, you know, you're always wanting the next thing before the first thing gets there. So you might get conversation with your person, or you might win a battle, you might get what you want, but then you're on to the next. They view you as the 6 of Wands. So this is somebody that is like, you know, loves attention, loves victories, loves wins, loves to move forward. So as soon as you get the first win, you're on to the next. All right. There's no embracing or enjoying the moment. There's a what's next type of energy. And so we just finished the date, and now we want to talk as soon as we get home all night long and plan the next date. That type of energy. It's like, wait a week, don't freak out, and let the person come to you. All right. This person clearly wants to see you again, the Three of Cups. So I'm working my way backwards. All right. Your person clearly wants to see you again. They like your attention. They like to be around you. They have good times with you. They share good times with you. All right. But the way they feel is the first of all, they view you as the Six of Wands. So let's go back here. They see you as somebody who's very successful. You get what you want. You get a lot of attention. And they know why you're the way you are. You know, you want to get things done. You just, you're in it to win it, right? And they admire you. This is somebody that really admires your talents, your skills, how other people see you. They love how you present yourself to the world, right? Very attractive. You give up a very confident, very awesome energy here today. But the way they feel is that you control, or you are just, there's always this intense energy, this intensity, this control and energy. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to make it happen. You got to make it happen. You got to do it, fix it, want it, go. And there's a lot of Mars energy for you. And sometimes Mars can just be like, intense. I got to, take action all the time. I've got to make this happen. A lot of intensity coming from you. A lot of intense energy, which means that you may be, highly stressed. Maybe you are a very stressed person in general. You got a lot on your plate, right? So this person may feel like though you bring that energy to the dates, to the moments you're together, to the relationship. Like this is work. I got to deal with our relationship like I would anything else in my life. Like I got to, take charge, make it happen. Whereas your person is looking like, dude, they just want to chill out and they want to hang out. They don't want to take things so seriously, but yet they have love for you. So this isn't somebody playing with you, but it's somebody who definitely wants to lighten things up and enjoyment. And not worry about what's next or the pressure about what's next. So this is what I'm feeling with this person. And this could be why you're dealing with the Two of Wands. Because your impatience, your anticipation, you watch a clock with the Two of Wands and you say, all right, it's been 24 hours. I haven't heard from them. Now all of a sudden you start ticking like a bomb. All right, what does this mean? And you start making a story about, I haven't talked to them in 24 hours. Now you're creating an entire story you believe in, and you have no idea what's going on. And then 2 days goes by, and that makes it even worse. But then the third day comes around, and they reach out to you, and they're fine. They're like, hey, I had a lot going on. And you're like, what the hell? You got this energy of, like, what's wrong? And they're like, what the hell is going on? That's how much Mars can take over. That's how much this energy can take over, and your thoughts can create stories. And your person is like, what the hell just happened? I like you. We're together. We're gonna make this happen. They're very focused on you, very attracted to you. The Magician card. You guys have the right components to make this work. The Magician card. You both are very attracted to one another. You're pulled to one another. But you've got to choose the right elements at the right time. So if you're all fire and you're not being chill, cold, calm, or grounded, you may burn down a moment. You got to bring the right ingredients at the right time and read the energies and not let your anxiousness, your fears, because when you focus on your problems and your fears, you're manifesting that in. You're making a problem when there isn't one. And for some of us, it's just a habit we're used to. It's an old way of thinking that we got caught up in because other people may have burned you in the past and you don't want to deal with that feeling of rejection. So I need to know what's going to happen next. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for rejection. But on the flip side of that, your person may not be rejecting you. They may be enjoying the moments of the distance between the two of you so they can miss you, so they can want you, you know? And that's what I'm getting. So, you know, the Death card and the Ten of Wands is, you know, I'm going to pull one more card for that before I even speak on that. And I have the Three of Swords. There's an energy here of separation, or you feel like anxiety that something's over, something's not going anywhere. Now, I'm going to say this two ways because I already saw somebody say that the Death card is what happened. So for those of you who a situation has ended, everything I just said could have been what led up to it. And Spirit's asking you not to bring that into your next relationship, especially if you're talking to somebody new right now. Those things that happened in your past relationship could be why you're so anxious right now with the new person. But if this is a person that you're currently dealing with, this Death and this Three of Swords and this Ten of Wands, the pressure, the heaviness that is coming into this reading is created because of a fear of losing somebody, a fear of something not working out, a fear of getting hurt. All right. So that's the message. Let's take a look at Aries to Pisces and see each zodiac sign, see if I can get a little bit more in depth. All right. We have Aries, Nine of Wands. All right. So you're kind of pushing, or Aries feels pushed to the limit. Aries is showing up as being a little bit worn out. Right? I feel it. I sense the urgency. I'm busy. I got a lot going on. I know you're there. I know you want. But if they're ignoring you or they're not around you, they're showing up with the Nine of Wands energy, which says, I got too much going on. I'm going to shut down. And so they may pull back and you may take it personal. But it does feel like they're dealing with a lot of pressure right now. Taurus, I see King of Pentacles. Taurus is doing their thing. It looks like Taurus is taking care of business and being very responsible. They're trying to do what's best. All right. Now, if a Taurus pulls away, it looks like you may be dealing with somebody that's a family person or has a company or a lot of responsibilities. And you may be wondering, why aren't they paying attention to me? A Taurus doesn't. Take it from this channel and everybody who knows a lot of Tauruses. And if a Taurus is focused on something, work, other things, they're focused on that and they're not thinking about you. Not because they're not caring about you, because they care about what they're doing in the moment. They're very simple, very, very good like that. They're my Buddhas. But if you're a Taurus and you're hyper-focused on somebody, because you can get focused on somebody, you're going to stress yourself out. And your Taurus here is it just feels like it might be stressing you out because they're moving slow. All right. Now, Gemini, I see the Knight of Pentacles. So Gemini, the same thing. It looks like Gemini moves too slow for you. But it does look like the same thing with Taurus and the same thing with Aries. It looks like, you know, they're cautious. They're very cautious about just jumping into another relationship. They're very cautious, but they're also very busy and hardworking. So it's not like they're avoiding you or ignoring you. It's just that they tend to focus on what's in front of them, one step at a time. Cancer, I see Six of Swords. All right, so Cancer is like, I'm chill, let's go. All right, so Cancer coming in. It looks like if you and Cancer, you know, you've been confused lately with your Cancer, it looks like they're coming in to clear something up. You guys will get past it. Leo, I see the Empress card. So you and Leo are just building something. All right, things are growing between the two of you. This card is asking you to lean back a little bit and just follow their lead. Follow their lead. All right, something beautiful could manifest between you and a Leo. Virgo, I see the World card. All right, so this is a card of success. It says, you know, things are going somewhere. You may have just had a big win with your Virgo, right? But it feels like nothing's moving and you're panicking. All right, everything's fine for some of you. I mean, for some of you, you know it's not. But right now it just says we're just in a little bit of a quiet period before something new happens. Libra, Hangman. So Libra has gone silent on you. They're not sure where things are going. It doesn't mean they've completely let go. But at the same time, they're sitting in a space You know, they don't want what they had in the past, and they don't know how to define the future. So it seems like they're just kind of holding back here because they need to figure it out on their own. They don't know who they are right now. They don't know what they want. So there's silence and contemplation. It doesn't mean that you're not a part of that contemplation. It just means that they've taken space. Scorpio, 4 Pentacles. Scorpio too could be holding back, but Scorpio is just hard to open up. All right. Scorpio is not going to give you all their full hand, you know, up front. And that's just the way it is. And then I know both you guys are fixed energies, Aquarius, you and Scorpio, fixed in your own ways. You got to know everything. You talk, both of you see, you know, and your Scorpio's got to, you know, analyze you and kind of, you know, study you before they open up, right? But it looks like you guys are building something here. You guys got to work through your own stubbornness. Sagittarius, 7 of Cups. All right, so Sag got their eye on you, but they're still keeping their options open. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe they have the right to, you know, maybe they feel like, you know, I'm not ready to get in a relationship just yet. I don't know if I want to, so I'm not going to tell you something if I'm not 100% sure. But I definitely fantasize about a future with you. So there's so many possibilities. You have to choose what you want with this relationship and what you believe. All right. You know, it may be too soon for them to make a decision, or maybe they just are not, they just want to keep options open. Capricorn, I see the Chariot. So you and Capricorn, look at this. You guys will figure it out. All right. Capricorn is, I'm going to make it through. I'm being pulled to figure it out. All right. You know, together we'll figure it out. So where there's a way, with a Capricorn, we see a Capricorn returning if they have been distant. Aquarius, you got the 2 of Swords. So you got the 2s coming in. And this has been coming through a lot today. And it just feels like you have an important decision to make. Stop talking yourself. You know what the truth is. And to me, maybe you're not supposed to do anything right now. But just let things be. If you can't figure out what to do, if you can't figure out what's going on with the relationship, this could be saying, don't make a decision. Just let it be. Let it play out. And you know, and try not to worry about it or talk yourself into another story. Another Aquarius could be holding back, trying to figure out what they should do. All right. So it is a pause here. And I see Pisces. I see Ace of Cups. So Pisces got love for you. It looks like, you know, they're missing you, or they want to connect with you and, you know, get something started with you. All right. I hope I'm not sounding preachy today. I'm not trying to. I just sometimes certain readings bring up certain aspects of spirituality or healing, and I tend to get very convicted. You know, that's that passion, Scorpio, Mercury, you know. Let's go. All right, TikTok, getting used to me, right? 5 planets, Scorpio, Virgo rising. Right? I'm on Pisces now, and I'm on YouTube, TikTok. I'm getting used to the live. So if you want to see Aries through Aquarius, you can go over to Frankie's Tarot, and you'll see that my live stream is up there. All right, guys, don't forget Wednesday, Archer and I will be going live on New Year's, 4 p.m. on both our channels and on TikTok. All right, let's see. Pisces. Let's see what I get for Pisces. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Pisces, Chiron. So maybe I'm bringing up some of the wounds that, you know, some of you are currently facing, you know, or this will. All right, Pisces, let's see a person's story, how they feel, how they view this connection, what's going on from their standpoint. I have the moon card, Pisces. So I do see anxiety. I do see reading into things. A lot's changing. You can't figure out a situation, you know, and it's overall energy. So your person could be reflecting back what you fear. Mirroring isn't always we're both doing the same thing. It's more of a reflection, you know, what you're believing to be true is what the other person is doing. So maybe try that one on before we go right into everything's a mirror. People think that because I feel about, you know, the other person, it actually means a little bit different. They're just doing exactly what you think they're going to do. 10 of Wands. All right. So I am seeing here with the connection that I'm picking up on, there's a lot going on internally that you both are processing. And you guys could be really triggering one another. There, for some of you, maybe there's some memories, there's some things that have happened in the past that have caused some deception or anything like that, that has caused some fear, anxieties about how you truly believe or you trust this person. Maybe you're having a hard time trusting somebody, and you're not sure where things are going. You're never sure where things are going. The moon card, it seems like things are constantly shifting, all right? And it's a very heavy energy. So somebody may be feeling a lot more turmoil inside than you think, dealing with a lot more than you realize. So Pisces, your person, I see 3 of Swords. So their story, the 3 of Swords, obviously they're hurting, right? If you guys are separated, or if you guys have gone through some dispute or something happened, they're processing their feelings. They don't really know how to process their feelings. They don't know what to think. They don't like being separate. It doesn't feel good to be away from you, but maybe they feel like this is the best right now. Things have been getting heavy between the 2 of you, right? But it does feel like this person here doesn't want to leave something. There's an emotional connection here, but I do think that there's a lot of anxiety or panic or triggering that is causing the separation. So let's see how they view the connection. And I see the 9 of Pentacles. This is also, it may seem to you like this person is avoiding you, but the 9 of Pentacles is somebody who's very independent. And you may have known this about the person before you met them. They work a lot. They don't need a lot of attention. They don't need constant chat, checking up on. They don't need that. They need their freedom. And if they feel like taking their freedom is causing panic with you, if you're panicking every time they go away, they're feeling like they can't have their freedom. And for some of you, when I say that word freedom, it triggers you because you think, well, I don't want them dating other people. That's not what they're asking for. They just want to know that they can, you know, keep their identity, their freedom, their space. And so when they avoid you and they don't answer your calls or they step back, it's because they don't know what else to do. It's stress. Your anxiety and intensity may be, or your inconsistency. When you start freaking out, your insecurities may stress this person out because now they feel bad that they can't step away. And you may think they're constantly avoiding you, but then it does become that. They start to avoid conflict with you because they can't handle the emotions. They don't know what to do. They're causing you pain and they don't know how or why or what to do about it. When all they are is just somebody who doesn't need somebody with them 24/7. They're not ready for it, right? And so they're causing you pain, and it feels like this person doesn't know what to do because 1, they feel a connection with you. You're all obviously very attractive to them. They come around, you got them in their feelings, but there's a feeling of, I'm always hurting you and I don't know what to do to make it better, you know? And besides compromising my independency and my freedom, which means that you're pushing somebody to want to be single and stay single. So what is their block though? So let's go a little bit deeper. The Ace of Pentacles, all right? They're not sure about marriage yet. They're not sure about their, you know, their commitment to long-term just yet. They're doubting yet where this is going to go. They don't know where this is going to go. And maybe you need more consistency. And this person's not giving you enough consistency. And this person is thinking, you know, well, if you don't like me now, or you don't like how I show up for you now, what's going to happen in the future? I have to change to make you feel better? And it sounds selfish, and it is. Nines can be very selfish. It's people who take care of themselves, who are independent, don't need anybody. And when you don't need anybody, we always seem avoidant or detached or selfish to other people because we don't ask you, we don't need anything. And then you end up wanting, you know, you get attracted to that. But, you know, the Ace of Pentacles seems to be their block. It seems to be this person really wants to figure out where this relationship is going before they 100% commit. So how do they view you? I see the Five of Pentacles. You think they're rejecting you. You are always feeling like they can't make you happy. They can't meet your needs. They're always rejecting you. They feel like they're always making you unhappy. You struggle with the distance between the two of you. Whenever they're away, you feel like they're rejecting you. This person really does trigger you. And it's like, let's see how they really feel and their intentions towards you. The King of you're dealing with a King of Pentacles. You're dealing with somebody who's very, very straightforward. So this person had to have been straightforward from the get-go. This is me. I'm a business person. I'm out for my career. I'm money. I got a family. I do want a family. I want responsibilities. But this is somebody here that's pretty confident and stable, and somebody who doesn't, move fast. So they're not going to move fast. And in a Taurus energy may confuse you because they take a long time to make a decision. But once they do make that decision, they are going to invest in you long term. So they're not going to be quick to jump in a relationship with you, no matter how good you are in bed. This person is not going to jump into a relationship. This person is somebody that really needs to check all boxes, feel like everything feels safe before I move forward. They need to know that they can be comfortable. And what it comes down to is their freedom, their independency. And I'm seeing what's their next actions towards you? I see the Five of Wands. So I do see somebody who's conflicted. They don't know what to do. We have a problem here. They trigger you. You guys, it's very intense energy between the two of you. I don't know how to make you happy right now. I don't know how to make it right. So it does look like your person is trying to avoid a conflict with you. What should you do? Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, filling your cup, focusing on what brings you happiness, focusing on love, focusing on self-care, and also, allowing love in. If this is a new relationship, it looks like it's, it's one that, is going to play out. It's going to play out over time. But to me, this is also, keeping your options open and keeping your heart open. Because if somebody's not committed to you and they are avoiding you and they have not fully committed to you yet, you don't have to prove anything or commit to this person. You can still keep them in your life and desire them, but you can keep your options open and let new love in. That might make them move their ass. All right. Feeling guilty and shame doesn't make you a good person. Chase Hughes, I keep seeing that come up on my feed. He talks about how good people guilt themselves and make themselves feel guilty, and it makes you feel like you're a good person because you're worried or you're guilty. That's a lie. Feeling guilty for putting yourself first and opening up and allowing somebody else into your life, even though you love somebody, is self-love. Aries, the Emperor. So it looks like Aries is definitely going to step up, but this is a mature energy. You have Aries taking the next step. Maybe they're waiting to make the right move at the right time. Taurus, I see Knight of Wands. Taurus kicking up a gear. It looks like very passionate. They're very attracted to you and they want this, all right? But you also have somebody who loves their freedom too. And we have Gemini, 8 of Wands. So Gemini could be avoiding confrontation. They feel pressured. They want to have honest communication, but they want it to go back and forth nicely. You know, they want to have honest communication. And I see Cancer. Cancer doesn't know what to do yet, so they're still in this place of contemplation. What do I do? My heart wants Pisces, but you know, maybe you're driving them crazy. I don't know. I drive people crazy. All right, so take it if it's you. Don't get offended. Right? So Cancer, 4 of Swords. Cancer just taking a break. Cancer just trying to sleep it off. All right, give me a moment. Let me figure it out. All right, so it's temporary space between you and a Leo. Sorry, that was a Leo. Temporary space. And I have Virgo, Queen of Wands, right? So Virgo here, very independent too, but they know what you want and they have a lot of love for you, right? So Virgo will make it work. You got a great energy there. Virgo wants to see you happy. Libra, the Hierophant. So Libra's got some values, some strict boxes that you have to check. All right. So Libra here, you know, they're traditional. They're old school. You know, they want to make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. You know, everything's fair, everything's good. And so it's hard to get a Libra who's showing up with this Hierophant to change their belief systems. And they could be confusing you. You know, and maybe if some of you, if they're married, they're married. There's nothing I can do about that. All right. But I am seeing here, they see the value in you, and there is potential for you guys to level up in a connection. Scorpio, 5 of Swords, right? You could be driving a Scorpio crazy, right? Or they're driving you crazy. Nobody's winning here, you guys. You got to give it a little bit of space. You guys are miscommunicating, and there's a lot of conflict here. I don't think your Scorpio is being honest with you, probably because they don't know what to say. They just don't know what to say to you. Sagittarius, up in the air. So you guys, Sagittarius too, kind of going back and forth on where things going. What I'm going to say with Sag is just take it one step at a time. It looks like you've already got the door open. All right. They're moving closer to you. Capricorn, I see Page of Pentacles. Capricorn also, you know, you have, I want to get to know you. I want to start fresh, but I want to start slow. All right. Very sincere energy of a Capricorn, really wanted to put some effort in. Aquarius, Knight of Pentacles. Aquarius is like, let's go. I'm very cautious, but I got my eye on you, but I'm ready to go. So they're slow moving, but they're still showing up. Your Aquarius coming back in here to show up, maybe to fix something. And Pisces, I see the Strength card. Pisces, can I lecture you for a second? You guys just all clicked out. You got a very strong bond that you're connecting with, right? But somebody might be teaching you how to control your emotions or to have self-control. When things get intense, it's having the courage to face the feelings that you're feeling, right? You can't control a situation. You may be coming on too strong if your fears are getting the best of you. And this is showing me a gentler approach, right? You know, it's trying to figure out a calmer way, or patience with yourself too, patience with the person you're dealing with, right? But there's a strong bond between you and Pisces, another Pisces, and there's just a different way that you guys can go about getting through whatever. There's another solution to your problem. I love you guys, and I am going to let you go so I can take a quick break. I will be live in 15 minutes for Super Chat. So I am going to take a quick break and jump right off. I love all you guys. Thank you to all my mods. Thank you, TikTok. You guys really going at it in there. I love it. I'll get the hang of it. And I will see you if you want to read in, you can join me at 4:30 for super chats. I might turn it to 4:40 just to give myself a few more minutes. You guys are awesome. I'll see you soon. I hope these readings resonated and didn't trigger anybody. They're not meant to. Nobody knows the answers. We're all just reading through our lens of experience and just trying to get on by. All right. I'll see you soon. Take care.